Thanks Shane. Peter Ferguson takes the drive. He is a rising 6-year-old, but he's only had 10 starts and most of the time has been knocking on the door, including 3 placings here at Alexandra Park. The last of them, last time out. Thanks Shane in the mix as well. And Duke Castleton, the former Southerner, now in the north with Jimmy Cole, runner number 4. He paraded very well in the birdcage before going on the track. And on looks, I thought number 4, Duke Castleton, at the $13, maybe one you want to consider. Let's get the dogs result from Bendigo, meeting 32, race 2, 7-1-3 and 2. 7-1-3 and 2, $5.80, $2.20, $1, $2.90. Quinella is $7.90. The trifecta 7-1-3, $121.90. And the first 4 on the dogs, 7-1-3 and 2, $896.30 with a jackpot of just under $200. A double, all 70 cents. So there you go. The Bendigo Dogs, meeting 32, race number 2. I thought another one that paraded going well on track, just sweating up a little bit now, is 9 Lady J. Might be one to consider if you're playing first 4s. The one race winner off the 30-metre handicap. Not the worst here. In an open field, the maiden trot headed up by the favourite 5, A Cougar's Son. Aaron White, we might talk to him prior to race number 1 tonight. Aaron, it's a beautiful night here at Alexandra Park. As I say, expect them to run reasonable times, track in wonderful condition, and good to have not only the horses back on the track, the likes of Besotted, but good to have David Butcher back on track as well.
Oh, you did right there. It'll be great to call DJB again, coming back from yet another injury, and let's hope everything goes well tonight for David. Of course, he's on the very good art form tonight, unbeaten here at Alexandra Park, taking on Motown in that race 2. We've got Shandale, of course, who was voted the North Island's best 2-year-old at their awards a few weeks ago here, and Kamani's in that race too. That's the first leg of pick 6. What a cracking way to open a chase for $40,000 tonight. Great to have a Hoka punter with us. His cup campaign starts tonight at Alexandra Park, and Besotted back from injury too, the Taylor Mile winner from a couple of years ago. So plenty of good highlights on the program tonight. In the first with you, Craig, 5 A Cougar's Son. Last 2 runs have been very good by this horse. Certainly has to be in the mix. 8, Thanks Shane. He's improving with racing. The Thanksgiving gelding, Peter Ferguson. 1 Viking Ruler, plenty to like about his debut, 3rd. And yes, Lady J was a nice maiden winner. That was 5 starts ago. The Manners have got in the way since then, but with Clean Manners back with a maiden front line tonight, she could certainly be right in the thick of things here. Todd Mitchell for Michelle Wallace and Bernie Hackett. And just on that too, Craig, if people are looking to come into the track just a wee bit later tonight, we do have a live auction in the Tasman room for an All Blacks jersey signed by Kieran Reid and Richie McCaw, and a rugby ball signed by the All Black team after their Bledisloe Cup win. So that live auction will be after race 9 tonight. So if you thought about coming along to the park, why not pop on in and maybe go to that auction and grab yourself an All Blacks jersey with Kieran Reid and Richie McCaw's signature on it, or better yet, the ball with the entire team's signature after the Bledisloe Cup victory.
Absolutely. My learned colleague Cameron Shaw run that auction on, I think it's in the Hobson room or the Tasman room, is it, Cameron? Tasman room tonight. So get along there, and as you say, great prizes on auction at the auction. We mentioned it last night under the lights, and that is obviously a fundraiser for the Pony Club. So, yeah, if you're in the Green Lane region, get along here. Have a look at the horse racing. Great meal there as well. And I think those tickets going for around about $50. Hearing through from the bookmakers, $3,000 on the favourite, A Cougar's Son. And also another $2,000 as well. Best backed at longer odds, Lady J, $21 into $10 with a $700 bet. So, TRB Market Movers, race 1. Horse 5, A Cougar's Son, and runner number 9, Lady J. Red light on here at Alexandra Park for the first tonight. The Dawson Harford and Partners handicap trot. Favourite is into $1.90. A Cougar's Son. The black with the red stars. Here's Aaron White for his...
Yeah, thanks, Craig. And a front and 30-metre barriers in operation here for the opener. The favourite, A Cougar's Son. Brent Mangos doing the driving for Peter and Vaughan Blanchard. Number 5 in the race. Viking Ruler will run the second favourite after a good debut. So we stand up nicely to start a Frank Phelan or Viking Ruler just on the move in barrier 1. Thanks Shane stands up nicely out wide. The barrier strands released now and they're off. Duke Castle and Thanks Shane away nicely with Donna May, Dr. Livingston, a Cougar's Son, the favourite, safely on the journey, as too is Viking Ruler, 4 or 5 lengths over Stayer and Lady J. The two back markers trotting along nicely in the early stages of the contest as they work on to the stables corner, and settling back last is South Coaster. So around the stables corner they go, and Thanks Shane takes it up, leads away by 3 over Donna May. Duke Castle in third, a couple of lengths away to a Cougar's Son, 4 or 5 Dr. Livingston, then Viking Ruler, 3 lengths over Stayer. There's 4 lengths away South Coaster, and Lady J's galloped around that first corner and is losing touch with the group. Through the back they go in the Dawson Harford and Partners trot. Thanks Shane leads, Donna May in the trail, and 3 back Duke Castle in lead time 50.7. A Cougar's Son the favourite in 4th, and trotting along nicely too for Mango. Then there's a break of a half a dozen lengths away Dr. Livingston. On its back is the second favourite Viking Ruler. Back second last to the winning chances here over Stayer, then South Coaster, and there's 12 lengths Lady J as they sweep across the showgrounds turn, their first occasion tonight, where the leader is Thanks Shane, away by 1 3/4. On its back is Donna May and the Magic Man Morris McHenry. 3 back is Duke Castle, and then a Cougar's Son, 32 7 the opening quarter. Still 4 or 5 lengths over Stayer. Starts to move up on the outside of Dr. Livingston. A Cougar's Son will come out in front of Overstayer. Back on the inside, Viking Ruler and South Coaster. The last of the winning chances, Lady J, no chance at the bell. Stables corner final time, Thanks Shane. Trotting away nice and relaxed in front over Donna May. Now Duke Castle comes away from the markers. A Cougar's Son punched out 3 wide at that point. Dr. Livingston the inside of Overstayer. South Coaster and Viking Ruler just in an awkward spot back last. 32 9 the second quarter. Thanks Shane, he's had a pretty good lead too here. Through the back for Fergie the final time. Leads by a length, getting up to its wheel Duke Castleton. Donna May in the trail. 1-1 a Cougar's Son. Overstayer the inside. Viking Ruler just run up into a pocket, but has got onto the back of a Cougar's Son. Out wide a South Coaster. Dr. Livingston dropping away. 500 to go. Thanks Shane off the back. Over Duke Castleton a length away. Donna May will wait the passing lane. A Cougar's Son 1-1. 29 1 the back straight quarter. Viking Ruler still just trying to clear the pocket. Does it now. Back on the inside. Overstayer homeward bound. Thanks Shane, Duke Castleton. Donna May the inside. Here's a Cougar's Son. Viking Ruler looking to work home strongly. Thanks Shane. Donna May passing lane. A Cougar's Son stretches strongly at the 100. Thanks Shane though, he's got a kick. A Cougar's Son stretches nicely the outside. Thanks Shane. A Cougar's Son. Thanks Shane will just get in over a Cougar's Son, I say. A very tight photo though. Then Donna May. They were followed by Duke Castle and Viking Ruler. Overstayer, South Coaster, Dr. Livingston and Lady J. 3:54.8 to 29.4, 58.5 was the last half. Will be a wee bit closer than it appeared, with them a wee bit wide apart. Thanks Shane though, I think Fergie might just get in here over a Cougar's Son the outside. He had a pretty soft lead, didn't he? Thanks Shane. A Cougar's Son finishes stoutly the outside. There won't be much between them on the line, but no, Thanks Shane, he will just get in over a Cougar's Son. Donna May for third. Duke Castleton there to make up the first 4 in the Dawson Harford and Partners handicap trot to open the night.
Official placings race 1, the Dorset Hartford and Partners handicap trot. 853 4 110, 853 4 110. Horse 8, Thanks Shane, trotted the 2200 metres from a stand in 254.83. Mile rate at 27.8. Last 858.5, the 429.4. The margins are half head, 3 3/4 lengths at 1.5 lengths. 853, 4110, Dawson, Hartford and Partners handicap trot.
Judge Graham McLennan with the opening call of the night, and it goes the way of Thanks Shane. Gets his maiden victory in good fashion tonight too. Start 11. Ron Richardson prepared at Te Awamutu. Peter Ferguson with a lovely front-running drive. Ron Richardson along with Mrs. E.N. Richardson, B.N. and Ms. H.E. Richardson, the owners. And there's a Thanksgiving 5-year-old brown gelding out of Neri Kilo and was bred by the Prices, Mrs. M.L. and S.D. Nice win, Graham Harford down there, part of the victory celebrations. Murray Goldsworthy, race night steward here at the Auckland Trotting Club, also in attendance. 5 a Cougar's Son, the favourite goes down a slender margin. Monarchy 6-year-old bay gelding at a yummy lace. Mrs. K.M. Blanchard, the owner, along with Ms. C.L. Ball. Peter and Vaughan Blanchard, the trainers at Pukekohe. Brent Mangos. 3 Donna May for third. Peak as a spur. May the Sun Shine, 4-year-old bay mare for MF Ball, S. Carson, Mrs. SM and S.J. Cornwall, Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, trained at Waiuku, Morris McKendry. 8 Thanks Shane, $7.30 and $2, $7.30 and $2. 5 a Cougar's Son, $1.20, $1.20, and 3 Donna May, $4.20, $4.20. Quinella returns $5.30, $5.30, trifecta $220.10, $220.10, and the opening first for $1,060.50, $1,060.50.
Good, and he's run outstanding time around about 29.45 he has run. The winner number 2, Evan.
Jumped great. Avondale has found the lead. I thought it was wavering there as they came around the corner, but got the prize, did Avondale as. And any divvy's a good divvy. $1.80 odd. We'll get the result for you shortly. Ipswich race 3, meeting code 34. Major Lockie, $2.10, $1.60. Having a look at the commentators' selections here for Dean Jones, he's gone 2, 8, 5 and 6, 2, 8, 5 and 6. He's with the favourite at $2.10 and $1.60. I think the officials will be through very shortly for the first at Alexandra Park, where Thanks Shane did win. I can confirm that 8 has gone up there at $7.30 and $2 in regards to race number 1 at Alexandra Park. There it is. A Cougar's Son tried very hard, $1.20. Donna May, $4.20, ran third. 8, 5, 3 and 4. Quinella, $5.30. Trifecta, $220.10 in the first 4. $1,060.50. The Gardens, Avondale as closed off $181. Goodwin Terry tried hard, $160. Spirited Kid, $2.30. 2, 5, 7 and 3. $5.50 the Q, $32.80 the try, $206.40 the first 4. Bathurst, 3 minutes out, race 7, TAB trackside 2. That's the next one at the Gallops. And Colin Hodges has gone 2, 3, 1 and 4 there at Bathurst. We're about to box and go at Ipswich for the third. Matt Nichols likes the favourite, Major Lockie, number 2.
The only runner given a hope to beat the favourite at 3.20, and one Golden Lenny just in single figures at 9.60. But 2 and 8 are the best backed runners, especially the 2 late Major Lockie's been the best supported. It is the favourite. Thank you, Trevor and Michael. Green light. Favourite from 2. Major Lockie. Racing. Major Lockie began well, and it goes forward, but it copped a check, and Golden Lenny will lead from Spring Big Eye into second. Focus Me was third, then Country Cyclone well back, Bed of Nails. Major Lockie second last. Last of all was Queen of Show. In front was Spring Big Eye, and it took over from, as they round the home corner, Golden Lenny. They're 3 in front then of running to third was Country Cyclone, but Golden Lenny's got a kick, and Golden Lenny will win from Focus Me, who finished hard to run second. Third was Spring Big Iron, then followed by, after that was Country Cyclone, well back, and the field was Queen of Show with Major Lockie and Bed of Nails towards a tail. 25.60 was the run. Golden Lenny the winner. Golden Lenny ended up paying $5.50 and $2.80 was $9 just before they jumped. It's firmed into $5.50 late. Golden Lenny 9's into $5.50. 1, 4, 8 the numbers. 1, 4 and 8.
One, 4, 8 and 6, 1, 4, 8 and 6. There, the numbers from the Ipswich Greyhounds. Bathurst is Upper Channel a minute away. We go back to Hatrick for race number 5 on meeting code 9. 11 minutes to go in happy hour. 11 minutes in happy hour. So you've got that amount of time to bet on the inflated odds. The All Blacks versus Argentina. We're going to be 6.5 minutes away from there next. We'll be there on the other side of this.
Hi, Miles Gaisley car dealer. Gaisley's the sales, service and parts agents for Nissan, Volkswagen, Skoda.
Also on the show will be Mapley boss and former Chiefs forward Sims Davison. And between the two of us, we'll combine our picks to form a $50 multi for a lucky listener. Tune in every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. as we talk Rugby World Cup on Trackside Radio, simulcast on Trackside 2. Nisbo live at the Cup.
Trackside 1, we're back. It's 21 minutes past 6 o'clock. One last push for that happy hour special, All Blacks Argentina. If you're going to get up Monday morning and watch it, and you want to have a winning team and margin bet, you need to get it on in the next 9 minutes to take advantage of the better odds. Option 4 it is. 4 minutes out from race number 5 at Hatrick, the Keenan Concrete C1 and C2. Another really tough race to try and select the winner. Botany Liz off the inside, $7.60 and $1.80, but just doesn't usually show box speed, and the last couple has been a little bit average. Now, Bitcoin ran a nice race last time. It was here on the 11th of September. Now, it was resuming that day. Was second that day in behind Extreme Twist when jumping from box 4. I thought that it was the sort of run that was worth sticking with. $5 and $1.70, $7.50 and $3.90 for Bitcoin. Ros, I will come to you. I've got a bit of a question for you. These C1 and C2 grades, especially the C2, they seem to be very even races. Are those the grades, especially C2, where the most greyhounds are actually sitting at the moment?
Ryan, it's Class 1, without going too in depth into the class system, with dogs downgrading after only 3 missed runs outside the top 3 now. It used to be 4. And with the fact that dogs are able to win 2 Class 1s on their way through the first time, it's Class 1 where they sit. We could run Class 1 sprints here at Hatrick all Wednesday afternoon. We have, well, this coming Wednesday we've got 3 non-totes. There's so many Class 1 sprinters that can't get a go. Personally, I think there's a real problem, particularly with that downgrade situation. And what we are also finding too is that we're struggling to get dogs up in the grades, particularly over the middle distances. So we have that situation earlier where we have a Class 3 feature. We only get 8 noms and we get a scratching. And times where there's a bit of a bug going around or something like that, you can get some embarrassingly small fields. So I think it's a bit of an issue. And so getting dogs to stay at Class 5, well, we're not getting straight Class 5s hardly ever at the moment, particularly over the middle distance. They're all Class 4 and 5 combined because dogs are slipping back in the grades so quickly. So I guess it'll be looked at again in a timely manner to see how things are working, but it's just on the face of it how I see it. This is a remarkable race in many respects, Ryan, because in the quaddie there are only 2 dogs that are covered for anything. And one of them is the rank outsider, Buster Boy, and the other is Shay. And the other remarkable thing about this race is the favourite is All Gaia. It's the only Class 1 up against the Class 2s. It's its first time over 520 metres, and in 7 middle distance starts, that's beyond 400 metres, it's mustered 1 minor placing. That was on its debut at Wentworth Park, and it was beaten by a week. So you take your chance. I went 4, 1, 7 and 8. 4 Bitcoin. Ryan mentioned the dog, and the thing about this dog that I've got on top is it's had 1 win this course and distance, and that was in November of 2013. However, if we put that to one side, she did run a good race here last week when run down by Extreme Twist. She beat a few of these runners home. Drawn outside Double Entendre and Wall Age, I think she's going to get a run to the first bend, and she'll want to be on the pace. But she can do it here. Her last win was February. That was a 375 metre sprint at Palmerston North. But as I say, only 1 win in 11 this course and distance, and that was in November 2013. A few here on track on a Friday night, most of them indoors at the moment. A few of them come out for the races, particularly the later races, after they've had their dinner. The 1 Botany Liz, I thought she could run into this. She's not the quickest away. She's down 2 kilos. Don't be put off by that. She weighs in tonight 26.3. She won last October a couple of races around the 26 and 26.3 mark, and I can see her running into the finish here. She saves her best for here, Botany Liz. 7 dog Shay steps up in class. Recent performance is Class 1. Hasn't been in Marcy Flip's team that long. It's made an impression here with 2 wins and a placing and 3 starts on this track, and he can step up here. Only concern about him is he's drawn outside Peacock Princess and a dog like Buster Boy as well who can hold his line a little bit closer in, so going to have to muscle his way across, and just where All Gaia fits I'm not quite sure. First time 520 metres, first time in this grade, but look, he's got enough talent, and if ever there was a race you wanted to choose for your first up crack at 520 metres, well, this is probably it. To the boxes for the Keenan Concrete. Botany Liz off the inside. Box 3 here, Double Entendre. Wall Age the 5, Shay the black. Second line, Buster Boy, Bitcoin. Peacock Princess, All Gaia. All Gaia, the only Class 1 in the race, is going to start a 360 favourite. First time over 520 metres. Sarah goes, set. Racing All Gaia, a slow break the outside. Bitcoin's punched out the middle to go to the lead. Buster Boy's handy to the first bend, and Botany Liz is getting a lovely run through on the inside. You know, Shea goes forward. Double Entendra's in the pack as well. Gets shuffled now, Double Entendre. Out wider to All Gaia's trap wide. Double Entendre goes back to third last. Back behind it, Peacock Princess and Wall Age. Down the back they go. Botany Liz in front by a length and a half. Bitcoin right on its hammer now. Further back to All Gaia. Works to third on Buster Boy. They'll be followed further back then by You Know Shea. Wall Age trying to kick home. Botany Liz travelling too well for Bitcoin. All Gaia third, that was a fair effort. Wall Age was fourth. Next to go by then we had Peacock Princess, Buster Boy, and back to it to the tail to Double Entendre and You Know Shea. Oh, she just seems to travel well here. Botany Liz, 31.14. No time again, but they're not running time tonight. Home in 11.98, and she controlled the race. Bitcoin runs second again, and All Gaia, look, I know it went out favourite, but I think he's actually done a pretty fair job here running third, first up over the trip, and against the Class 2s, 1, 4, 8 and 5. And the judge won't earn his money here. They've been well spread, 31.14, 2 lengths, 2 1/4 lengths, and 4 lengths the margins. 5.12 for a lead up, and 19.16 to the back mark. Run home has been 11.98. Into the first bend, well, once she found the lead, pretty much game over. They were in quite a heat there. Double Entendre copped a bit of a shuffle. The 3-dog. Botany Liz by Beckham Bale out of once again Barb for Roy and Karen Thompson. John McInerney trains. It's win 7 at start 65. And 4 of those wins have now been here in 15 starts. That's the 5th. 1, 4, 8 and 5. And race number 6 on the card here is due at 6.56. It's the Wanganui Chronicle. It's a Class 1 and 2 again with 7 and 10 out. 9 Big Wonder into box 7 over the 520 metres. As we welcome to the chair on a Friday night, Mark Cookson. Hi, Mark.
Hi there, Rosso. Great to be joining you on Trackside 1 as we roll through that program at the Wanganui Greyhounds, and we also roll through the program at Alexandra Park for the Auckland Trotting Club. It's really looking like a great night of harness racing, building up with returns on the equine side and on the human side. It is nice to be with you on Channel 62 as we get set for another big weekend of racing with the second leg of the Hawke's Bay Triple Crown for the thoroughbreds tomorrow. But it's harness racing next, and it's almost to quaddie time at Alexandra Park with that final leg of the quaddie featuring the likes of Art Form, Shandale and Kamani. So it's looking pretty exciting. Craig Thompson, as I say good evening to you, and we get set for the first leg of the early quad.
Yeah, very good evening to you, Mark. Welcome in. Looking forward to the program tonight. Race 2 is the first leg of the quaddie. We've done a suggested quaddie for you. We'll go through leg by leg and have a look at the first leg. We've got a dominant favourite in here, and $1.25 on the fixed odds, $1.20 on the tote, the Faithful. Can he win the race? Absolutely. He's my top pick, but gee, that Skinny. He's a horse that just seems to find one better on the day, and he did that last time when he got beaten by Al Jacko, who's subsequently been sold to Perth. He can win the race, absolutely. You need him in a quaddie. I think we have a couple more in the race, though, as a little bit of backup. Do like Concord from Barrier 2. It's got gate speed. It's $18 on the tote, so one at value. And even runner number 1, Wainaro Mara, Kyle Marshall, one of the more senior junior drivers, if there is such a thing. Thought he'd put him in the right spot here, and he's not the worst, so he's one that you'd want to include. So for me, maybe one ticket on the Faithful, pick up Concord and Wainaro Mara in the other. Here's my selections in race number 2, 4, 1, 2, Sky Art. Best of the rest. We'll talk to Barry Purden about 2 or 3 minutes about his runners in race number 2. Race number 3 is for the trotters, and this is a very open trot field. Brookside Colt is a $4.90 favourite. That's right, nearly $5 in an open trot field. I found number 5, Gentares, on top here, 15-1. Watched him work on Saturday. Gee, I thought he trialled up nicely. Just in behind them, 2200 stand here I thought would suit. Off the front, tends to step and run in a very open leg. I put 5 on top in front of 11, Makarewa Jake, so definitely got to include him. He's a model of consistency. Brookside Colt, the favourite. A good run last start when running second, and Princess McKendon, suited to the short distance, makes its way into my top 4, but she is stepping up in grade. 5, 11, 6 and 3, and a leg I reckon we need to go wide. On to the third leg tonight, and here with the scratching of Love is a Drug, I think it's open for the stablemate now, and a very smart Heart of Dixie to win tonight. Into $1.55 at the moment. We'll talk to Barry Purdon. He gave her a decent push. Small field tonight. I thought she'll go forward from the draw. And saying that, Nicole Vitasova and Jubilee Princess can leave the gate. But Heart of Dixie for me stands out. The Dangers, Stars and Sound, and maybe Sahara Zona. They're sitting sprint type. So 6, near enough an anchor for me tonight in the third leg of the quaddie. My numbers 6, 8, 4 and 7. 6, 8, 4 and 7. I think that's how I mark them in race number 4 tonight. Heart of Dixie. Barry Purdon's got a strong book of drives, and he is your Stonewall Stud Drivers Challenge favourite at around about $1.45. Last leg of the quaddie tonight, race number 5, first leg of pick 6. One of the highlights of the night, Kamani from Barrier 1, smart 3-year-old, winning last start, takes on Shandale, who was an exciting juvenile from last season with some super races. Art Form has been impressive in its wins to date, including a 7-length romp last start in Motown. The winner of its last 3 starts, done nothing wrong. They are the top 4 in race number 5 tonight, and those are the 3-year-olds I expect to fight out the finish. I put Kamani on top and prepared to say that he is one of the better bets tonight. Art Form, The Danger, Motown and Shandale, who might just need tonight's run heading towards the side stakes next week. Here's our suggested quaddie tonight for $30. 1, 2 and 4 on the first leg. So we're going to cover the faithful. 1, 2, 4. Second leg, the trot. 3, 5, 6, 11, 14. Anchoring Heart of Dixie, Art Form and Kamani in the last leg tonight. Race number 5. $30, 100%. The quaddie starts in approximately 3.5 minutes. Let's get to Barry Purdon. He's got the favourite in race number 2, Sky Art, and the faithful. Earlier in the night I caught up with him. Tonight, 2 in the junior drivers race. Let's talk about Sky Art first. Very consistent. What do we know of Madison Reynolds?
Yeah, Madison's been with the team a couple of months now, and coming from Sydney, and he's driven quite a few winners. So he's won a championship at Menangle, so he's been around a little bit. Yep.
Sky Art, nice draw tonight. Been racing very consistently. Good chance tonight?
I think so. You know, he's just got to get the right run. He's that sort of horse, but I just said to Madison if he can get across quickly early and take a cover, well, you know, it might be the best option for him, but it's up to him, really. Yeah.
The other one's been in great form, the Faithful. You drove last start, wasn't far away at the line. Looks like it'll pick one up at pretty short notice. Yeah,
it does, really. He's probably been a little bit stiff not to have won one by now, but no, he's been racing well and he's knocking on the door for sure. He's pretty well. 2,700 metres, holds no fears for either? I don't think so, no. I mean, they should handle that okay. Yeah.
Yes, one's at 140 and one's at 650. The Faithful, the best of the 2 Barry Purdon runners. This one owned by the Auckland Trotting Club 2014 syndicate, and many of them on track here tonight at Alexandra Park. He's the winner of 3 from 19. He raced in some very good 3-year-old fields last season. Really, he gets his chance tonight to find the winner's circle again. For the Faithful on top, 1-1 Aro Mara from the insiders get the result from Wanganui Dogs, 1, 4, 8 and 5. 1, 4, 8 and 5. Race number 5 at the Wanganui Dogs. 1 Aro Mara, if you're playing something at longer odds, just because of the draw, and just talking to Nicky Chilcott off camera, quite happy with it. Just needs a little bit of luck from that inside if he gets crossed early. Concord, I think they'll go forward from its draw. Joe Mocha and also Sky Art. Madison Reynolds, yes, driven a lot of winners in Australia and now working for Barry Purdon. So 4, 1, 2 and 3. If you wanted to know where Zach Butcher is tonight, he is in the Gold Coast along with a few of the other boys, the likes of Josh Dickey. That's why Big Barry is taking the drive on a majority of the team tonight. Aaron White, as I come to you on start time for race number 2, it deserves to be favourite, the Faithful. I don't know about the $1.25 on fixed odds.
Yeah, he certainly does deserve to be the favourite, doesn't he? He'll take a power of beaten El Jacko last time, a slender margin, then he was third behind Motown 2 starts ago, and the subsequent second placings were very good in behind that as well. So for the Faithful for me, 5 a lot better now. He's at a great price tonight. Now, 3 starts ago, when he was last here at Alexandra Park, beaten 4 lengths by Better Spirits in a 156 mile rate over the 2,200 metres. He's a nice type. Anna's got 2 nice ones resuming here tonight. This is one of them a lot better. 3 Sky Art in the mix and 2. Runners in behind the mobile gate for the Lincoln Farms. Mobile pace over the 2,700 metres to open the early quaddie. The Faithful, he'll run the short odds-on favourite here. Into the back they go. Lincoln Farms Mobile, green light up. They're off and racing. The Faithful comes off the arm strongly. Concord on the inside. Coming forward, Elliot Daniel around a lot better. Wainaro Mara punching up on the inside to try and secure the back of the favourite, as the favourite does now cross down to the marker line. It gets a wee bit tight going onto the showgrounds turn here first occasion. Sky Art gets back to a third last around VC Dell, and Hadrian is the last. So the Faithful leads. A lot better comes forward strongly for Mark Johnson, now out 3 wide. That's going to give Elliot Daniel 1-1 cover as they swing into the lane. Back on the inside, Wainaro Mara, VC Dell on its back. A length off it to the outside was Concord. Sky Art second last, and back last is Hadrian. Through the straight they come, and the race favourite, the Faithful, getting an uncontested lead here. The Son of Better's Delight, Sean Grayling doing the driving. Leads by a length. A lot better, Mark Johnson sitting park. Wainaro Mara, Kyle Marshall in the trail as they work the stables corner. And the 1-1, Elliot Daniel and Trent Letherby. Back on the inside, VC Dell and Jack McKinnon. Then in the running line is Concord and Joe Mocker. On its back is Sky Art Madison Reynolds, just having his second drive in New Zealand as they pace up into the back, and Hadrian and Tony Cameron, the last of the junior drivers in the Lincoln Farms. They've completed a circuit, and the Faithful leads by 3/4, a lot better. Sitting out park, but he's quite happy there. Back on the inside, Wainaro Mara. Elliot Daniel 1-1. VC Dell 3 back on the inside of Concord. 1:23 and 3 was the lead time in the last pair. Both one away from the marker line, Sky Art and Hadrian, as they work off the back and sweep across the showgrounds turn again. And the Faithful, Sean Grayling, he's got a nice rein on this hot favourite. Up on the outside, a lot better. Just starting to press the issue now. Wainaro Mara just starting to get up on the nickel in the trail, and back on the outside in the 1-1, Elliot Daniel. VC Dell back on the inside as they swing into the lane, and they cut out the first quarter in 31.3. And the last trio, Concord, Sky Art and Hadrian, about to take off 3 wide. Down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. There's a nose between the leading pair, the Faithful and a lot better. So work the stables corner. Wainaro Mara trailing as Hadrian comes forward with purpose, out 3 wide around Elliot Daniel. Back in the field is Concord with VC Dell, and a length and a half Sky Art the last. They pace out to the 800. The second quarter might have been okay. It will be 29 and 2. The Faithful into the back. Leads by a half, a lot better. Hadrian stuck out 3 wide. Wainaro Mara's got the leaders back. Elliot Daniel 1-1. Concord on its back. Then VC Dell all dressed up, nowhere to go, and starting its runners, Sky Art. Into the back straight coming up. The Faithful off the back, a length, a lot better. Wainaro Mara waiting the passing lane. Elliot Daniel about to get clear, running out of the 1-1 as Hadrian weakens. They're followed then by Concord, VC Dell and Sky Art. 400 to go, 27 and 7 the back straight quarter. And it's the Faithful, a lot better's not done with. Elliot Daniel comes out of the 1-1. Wainaro Mara, Concord running on, then Sky Art. Homeward bound the Faithful, opens up by 2, a lot better. Down the outside then is Elliot Daniel, Concord running on, but it's a 1-horse affair. 75 to go, the Faithful. Beautiful front running drive here by Sean Grayling, gets the win. Concord second, gutsy run, a lot better for third. They were followed by Elliot Daniel for fourth, then Sky Art, Wainaro Mara, VC Dell, and the last across will be Hadrian. 3:20.4, 28.7 the final quarter. 56.5 was the last half. And the Faithful for the Auckland Trotting Club 2014 syndicate. The Son of Better's Delight. And Jules Winner running on Faith will get his 4th victory at start 22 night, and gets a well-deserved victory too. He's been chasing some nice ponies the last month or so, and the Faithful too strong. Concord runs the race out strongly for Joe Mocker for second in front of a lot better. He'll take plenty of improvement out of that. A lot better. He stuck to the task nicely, and Elliot Daniel to make up the first 4 in the Lincoln Farms mobile pace. First leg of the early quaddie goes to the hottie, the Faithful.
Official placings, race 2, the Lincoln Farms Mobile Pace. 425-731. 425-731. Horse 4, the Faithful, pace the 2700 metres, 320.42. Good mile rate of 159.4. Last 856.5 and the 428.7. Margins 5 lengths, 1.5 lengths, 3 1/4 lengths. 425-731. Race 2, Lincoln Farms Mobile Pace.
The Faithful comes back at the head of the field. He secures his 4th victory tonight at start 20 for the Auckland Trotting Club. 2014 Syndicate and those 8T Syndicate colours, they were released this season. They get another victory here. Barry Purdon trained at Clevedon, beautifully handled by Sean Grayling. The Faithful comes back at the head of the field. A Better's Delight, 4-year-old brown gelding out of Running On Faith. Woodland Stud, New Zealand Limited, the breeders of the Faithful, as he comes back at the head of the field. Steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, John McRae, down there to be part of the victory celebrations. 2 Concord for second, worked home nicely. Jeremy's Jet, Pacific Image, 5-year-old bay gelding, raced by PI and Mrs. PM Renwick, SJ Reid, Stephen Reid and Simon McMullen, the trainers at Pukekohe, Joe Mocker. And in for third, 5 A Lot Better, the Better's Delight black 4-year-old gelding out of Falcons Flyby, raced by the Arguses, Mrs. JM along with PG, Anna Donnelly trained at Cambridge, and Mark Johnson. For the Faithful, $1.20 and $1, $1.20 and $1. 2 Concord, $1.90, $1.90, and 5 A Lot Better, $2.60, $2.60. Quinella, $4.40, $4.40. The Trifecta, $32.50, $32.50. And the first 4, $120.70, $120.70. 8 and 4 in the early double, $10.70, $10.70. 8 and 2, the concession, $26.40, $26.40.
His champ couldn't come on after a lovely run. Well back, refused service, followed by...
One beats 7 and 3. Number 1, Trot and Roscoe, a $10 shot, takes out race number 7 from Wagga. 1 defeats 7 and 3. The numbers across the line. 4th number to come from the 7th event out of Wagga. TAB Trackside 1 on Channel 62. Our next port of call is Bendigo. The greyhounds, where they're at the boxes for the 5th event, meeting code 32. It does kick off the TAB Quaddie across our Bendigo program, and Ronnie Hawkswell's on track. In the 5th event, he's gone 8 Jody's Knee to beat 1, 6 and 3. 8, 1, 6 and 3. Here he is for the 5th.
All in, green light. Set to go, 3:30 for Jody's Knee. On the outside, they're set. And racing, Jody's Knee slow to begin. Out the back early in the race too is Midwinter, and going fast now is Sparkeen Speed, although pushing through Mr. Steele to go up and tackle, followed then by Smashing Blue. Going around the outside then came Jody's Knee, followed then by Midwinter, and out to the tail then flying Opal and Kursky up to the turn, and down on the inside Mr. Steele and Sparkeen. Bit of tightening up front here, going through now. Midwinter's come from well back, and it charged up to tackle Mr. Steele. It's Midwinter taking the lead. It'll go to winner from Mr. Steele. 2 lengths away third, Jody's Knee. Then came Kursky, followed by Smashing Blue, Flying Opal and Sparkeen. The run 28.54. Number 1, Midwinter, the winner, should pay about $5.20 and $1.70. 2 to get second, Mr. Steeler. About $1.90, and third should be 8. Jody's Knee around $2.10 the place. 1287 the numbers. 1287. Late scratching there was number 4. Late scratching number 4. It looks as though the winner would be the third place go to Jody's Knee. Confirm that in a moment or two. 1287 the numbers. 1 Midwinter. 2 Mr. Steeler. 8 Jody's Knee. 4th and 7 Kursky. Time for the race 28.52. Here come the totes. Winner scored by a length and a half. 1 3/4 between second and third. 1 1/2, 1 3/4. 28.52 the time.
One beats 2, 8 and 7 there from Bendigo. 1, 2, 8 and 7. The 4 dog was a late scratching out of that race, race number 5 from Bendigo. And here come the dividends. An each way return for Midwinter by Cosmic Rumble out of Tanya Two Shoes, returning $5.20 and $1.70 over number 2, Mr. Steeler at $1.90, and 8 Jody's Knee, $2.10, Quinella $14.30, Trifecta $112.60, and the first 4 paid $563.40. 563.40 on 1, 2, 8 and 7, the 5th from Bendigo. Also awaiting the result to come through from the 7th from Wagga. It's on the meeting code of 28, and it was won by number 1, Trot and Roscoe at $10 and $2.10, 7 Fascinator $1.40, 3 Tactful Lady $1.60, Quinella $9.80, Trifecta $78.10, and the first 4, 1, 7, 3 and 6 paid to the pool on the 7th from Wagga.
The tough son of Bettor's Delight. High
DJB Trackside 1. Great to have your company for a Friday evening. Of course, the big weekend of racing not only encompasses the thoroughbred action with the second leg of the Hawke's Bay Triple Crown tomorrow at Hastings. We've got the big race on Sunday. That's the running of the Waterloo Cup final, and option 990 is where you can take a look at that. It is just after 5:30 on Sunday afternoon, the running of the race, and it's option 990, the battle between Dinah Vickers, who's drawn 6, and Kilchurn, who's drawn box number 2. $2.40 for Kilchurn and $3 for Dinah Vickers. Back to Hatrick though for the first leg of the triple trio for tonight. It's the Whanganui Chronicle, a Class 1 and 2 graded event over the 520 metres, and Hart Hughes come up the top elect with bookmakers at $3.50. Support 2 for Trident, who's come back to C2 recently. In fact, on Monday at Palmerston North had its first run back in a solid C2 when finishing third from an outside trap, gets an inside trap tonight. And Hart U has come off a placing here a couple of weeks ago. Hart U running second to Boston Lightning, and has placed 3 times in its past 5 and gets box number 2 here. Others while back to Lochinvar Maui. Lochinvar Maui's been out of form of late, but obviously that was in the higher grade and gets the downgrade as a result of those efforts previously in C3. So this will be easier for Lochinvar Maui, and it's in the market as a result of that. And Ricky's Rebel is coming off a third here to Boston Lightning, that same race in which Hart U finished second in. Back with you, Rozzo. First leg of the TT, 3, 1, 4 and 2 for you.
Yes, Mark, and an interesting race with dogs like Lochinvar Maui, as you point out, dropping back in grade, and Trident recently the same. Ricky's Rebel, who is also just back to Class 2, and then Hart U, who's been a model of consistency in the grade. Hart U in shot, look, I think she was under the odds at 270 and she's out to 350, so if you like her now you might want to back her. She hasn't finished out of the money in 8 starts this course and distance. Best winning time though 30.74, and just thought she might be vulnerable in this field. I went with the 3, Lochinvar Maui. Painting a case for him though is not that easy. He's had 1 win in 10 starts this course and distance, and that was a long time ago now. His most recent win was in March. It was here. It was over 645 metres. The run 2 starts back in Class 3 wasn't bad. 4th and behind Rolex Roo. It was a fair line-up there. Making time was second. It's 1 tonight. So if Maui's going to bounce back over 520 metres at any stage, then I think tonight's the night. Trident off the inside, but an opportunity for him as well. He's only 2 from 25 this course and distance, but a lot of those races are in far tougher company than this. Third on Monday, behind a couple of nice dogs, but Thrilling Logan in particular the winner, but it was only a 6-dog field, but it was good enough, and he's going to get an opportunity here. Ricky's Rebel, the 4, downgraded off a sprint, and then last week finished third, was a margin behind Hart U, 4.5 lengths. Boston Lightning won easily. It was a fortnight ago now. I noticed that she's up 0.8 of a kilo to 25.4, and the heaviest win for her has been 24.7. She hasn't actually raced this heavy since her debut, so we'll see how she goes with that. Across to the boxes, race 6, Whanganui Chronicle Class 2, 1 Class 1 dog in off the ballot, Big Wonder into box 7. Off the inside here, Trident, Lochinvar Maui in box 3. Gold Rug, that's King. And Big Wonder has the 7. In the green and white, she's got a nose to the grill. She'll need a fast beginning here. Hart U in box 2. Ricky's Rebel, the blue, then Madam Ice and Botany Cell. Joint favourites, Trident and Hart U at 340. Flashing at the moment. Let's see how they step. Race 6 set. Racing, Trident and Hart U both got away quite nicely. Big Wonder's going to head them off to the first bend, though Madam Ice is pushing forward. Wider out to Botany Cell up and around the outside. Lochinvar Maui gets back with That's King, and Ricky's Rebel doesn't look happy at the back. Big Wonder in front by a couple, but Trident chasing it down. 3 lengths away then to Hart U. Followed around here by Lochinvar Maui, starting to get into the race. Further back to Botany Cell, Madam Ice, That's King, and Ricky's Rebel on the corner here. And it is Big Wonder the inside, rounded up by Trident. Lochinvar Maui late. Oh, Big Wonder kicked back. Not much in it. Maybe Big Wonder from Trident. Lochinvar Maui
Then we had Heart U in a photo there with Botany Cell. Back and behind those runners then we would have had That's King. And behind them was Madam Ice and Heart. And back with that was Ricky's Rebel tailing throughout. Did hold on the 9. 9 gets the call. Big Wonder over 1 Trident. 3 Lochinvar Maui and 2 Heart U. 9, 1, 3 and 2. Well, she crossed to the lead tonight, Big Wonder. The Class 1 up against the Class 2s. To be fair, she'd only just downgraded. She'd had no luck of late, but she hadn't been able to make her own luck from the wide draws. Well, she did that tonight. Trident rounded her up on the corner. He put his head in front, but she kicked back and has scored. Lochinvar Maui's made up some ground for third ahead of Heart U. Big Wonder by Collision out of Yorkley Beauty. Raced and trained by Marie Gowan at Foxton. Win 5 at start 31. 9132, 3085. 503 was the lead up and the run home was 1196. Just missed that midsection, but quite a tidy lead up for this grade. Trident had the measure of Big Wonder halfway down. Big Wonder kicked back. And she's lasted and won by a nose. 2.5 lengths, 1 length. The only thing we haven't given you is that midsection, which we might get in a moment or two. But well done to Marie Gowan with Big Wonder here. In race number 6, race 7, 1889 to that mid-mark, 1889. Race 7, Mark A on CPF Class 3. Will Wild Effective remain unbeaten in New Zealand? He's 3 from 3 so far. Fast times here and at Manukau, a $4,000 bet at $1.60 earlier. And the WEBC syndicate have been rolling in over the last half an hour or so. Race 7 due off at 7:26.
Number 9, Big Wonder, 13.90 and 3.50. 1 Trident, 1.60 and 3 Lochinvar Maui, 1.30. Quinella, 29.40. Trifecta, 223.70. And the 9132 first 4 on race 6, 877.70. Wrapped up a double, 1 and 9, 96, concession 1 and 1, 8.20, and the treble, 2, 1 and 9, $1,766.90 after race 6 from Hatrick. We'll take a break on TAB Trackside 1 Friday. On the other side, we'll have a look at this race here, which is going to be a tough old trot. The third event from Alexandra Park with Craig Thompson.
Enjoy the thrill of harness racing with Stonewall Studs Racing Syndicate. 5 syndicates to choose from as little as $100 per month. Be part of the fun and excitement when your horse steps out.
Welcome back to Trackside 1, 4.5 minutes out from race number 3 tonight. It is the Radio Sport Handicap Trot over the 2,200 metres for the C1 and Faster Trot is your favourite in a very even betting race. Number 11, Macariwa Jake, 440 on the book, 460 on the tote. Just in front of 6 Brookside Colt, 420 the book, 620 on the tote. Full field of trotters going round in race number 3 tonight. And as I mentioned, a very even betting market. I actually put number 5, Gentares, on top here. Trained by Richard Brosnan. This race is only a 2,200 metre stand. Only the 5 runners, or 6 runners off the front here. Thought Gentares been racing okay. They've given him a freshener. Back at the trials on Saturday. He trialled up quite nicely, hit the line very well. Of course, this one partly owned by one Johnny Magnus, so I think he might be on track tonight. John, good luck with the son of great success in race number 3 tonight. Good money, $13 each way. Race number 3 tonight, number 5, Gintares. 11 Makarua Jake, trained by Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett. Tony Hurley, he takes to drive, second last week behind Djokovic. Was a good run. Just seemed to be getting back to form. He had a bit of a flat spot there about 6-8 weeks ago, this bloke, but racing really well at the moment. Third behind Opar with speed, and then second, as I say, behind Djokovic with Zach Butcher holidaying. Tony Hurley, he takes to drive in race number 3 tonight in those familiar Tony Barron colours. 5 to beat 11. Outside those two, Jack McKinnon's runner number 6, Brookside Colt's done a good job. Matt Anderson, good to have Matt up here driving tonight. I think he's got 2 or 3 drives. He drives Brookside Colt at around about $6.80. Place last start and a very close finish behind Terra Scova. I think the margin was a nose. 2200 will suit tonight. Brookside Colt definitely in the mix. And the maiden winner from 2 weeks ago in Princess McKendon. Todd Mitchell will take the drive. Nice mare this, former Southerner. Done a good job in the north. Never been out of the money in 3 starts at Alexandra Park, including that win last start. Just seems to be getting stronger, and what she does do is trot all the way. The short distance suits her, and wouldn't be surprised if we see her in front or near the speed early on in the race. Runner number 3, Princess McKendon. Aaron White's numbers in the third tonight. He's 9, 6, 3 and 11. 9, 6, 3 and 11. He's found a spot for Dead Cat Bounce on top in the third. Aaron, as I come to you for the Radio Sport Handicap Trot tonight, over the 2200 metres, the trotting fields at Alexandra Park in the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've had competitive races and good to see full fields here in these intermediate grade trots.
Yeah, you did right there. I've gone with Dead Cat Bounce. Has one fresh up in the past, the Revenue Mare at a wee Annie. When you go 2 starts back at its form line, back in our April meeting, beaten 2.5 lengths by Mum's Pride, and 3 starts back, 7 lengths behind Idle Bones. Coming into a field like this, fresh up, the workout form's been okay too around Dead Cat Bounce. Be happy with the each way, 870 and 330. Tab Fensom doing the driving there as well. Tab became a sister again early this morning when Penny Fensom gave birth to young Toby David, £8 7 ounces. Congratulations to Penny and Reese, Mum and Bubs A-OK. So Tab, Paige and Zoe have a new brother. Let's hope Tab can drive a winner here tonight for a new brother, Toby. So that's on top. Dead Cat Bounce over the 6, Brookside Colt, beaten a slender margin when last here a few weeks ago. Matt Anderson, the 3, Princess McKendon, yes, built nicely to that maiden victory. And 11, Macquarie with Jake, mixing his form, but in a field like this, you've always got to keep him safe, and especially with the Iceman Tony Hurley aboard. 9, 6, 3 and 11 for me.
Thanks, Aaron. Also like to pass on my condolences to the Fleming family, Aaron. Unfortunately, Joe Fleming passed away during the week. Of course, Joe, I think it was 73. Had some very good horses right throughout his career. I know he was the preparer and the earlier trainer for Kiwi Ideal, of course, who's done such a good job for Stephen Reid, and obviously overseas at the moment, Kiwi Ideal. Angel Gabrielle was another one that he had, and just thinking back years and years ago to some of the nicer horse. I think he might have had Faster, La Vista and a few others. So to the Fleming family, Joe Fleming passed away sadly this week at the age of 73. And if I can get details of that funeral, I will certainly pass it on as it comes through this evening. The red light's on here at Alexandra Park. On start time for the third. Let's head upstairs and join Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. And the Square Gators start to face up now to starter Frank Phelan. Radio Sport Handicap Trot, 20 metres to open a double. Second leg of the early quaddie. First leg taken by the raging hot favourite, the Faithful. 320.42 he scored, and thanks Shane took the first for Peter Ferguson, who drives Tourbillon in this event. Princess McKendon just to turn into line here on the front tape, and we'll be about set and ready for action. The barrier strands release as they did Princess McKendon. She reared high in the air, and she's going to gallop out the back. Opar with speed, took fright on that and has joined it. Now Brookside Colt is also off stride early, as to 12 Monkeys. Through to lead Gintares, overrailing him. Ventimiglia third onto the stables corner, then Tourbillon and Jomo. Macarewa Jake, Dead Cat Bounce and I Got Rhythm. Further away then to Princess McKendon Star Filly. Brookside Colt yet to get into a trotting motion. 12 Monkeys back there and Opawa Speed a margin off last. 1800 to go, Gentaris, but here's Ventimiglia. Lynn Neal around the outside. Wants the top and will find it. 2 lengths Ellingham third. Macarewa Jake left parked around Tourbillon into the 1-1 I Got Rhythm. Jomo to its inside. A length and a half Dead Cat Bounce. You've got to go 10 lengths away in the field then to find the stablemates. 12 Monkeys just getting past Princess McKendon. Further away Star Filly. Opawa Speed is no chance and Brookside Colt pulled up. 48 and 8 the lead time as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. 1300 to go. Ventimiglia over Gentaris. 3 lengths Ellingham. Macarewa Jake out park for the Iceman Tony Hilly. Tourbillon back on the inside for Fergie. In the 1-1 is I Got Rhythm and the Magic Man Morris McHenry. Then Jomo. Dead Cat Bounce in the running line. On its back is 12 Monkeys. There's 4 or 5 lengths away in the field. Princess McKendon and Star Filly. 31 and 5 the opening quarter. Radio Sport Handicap Trot. Judge Bell and 1 to go. Ventimiglia will take them into the final circuit over Gentaris. Macarewa Jake inching up on the outside on the stables corner. Back on the inside then Ellingham 3 back against the marker line. I Got Rhythms had a nice 1-1 smother throughout. Torby on the inside of Dead Cat Bounce. They're followed then by 12 Monkeys around Jomo. And the last of the winning chances, Princess McKendon Star Filly 31 and 1 the second quarter. Ventimiglia through the back. Over Gentaris, Macarewa Jake's now been asked to stride forward up on the outside, out parked. In the 1-1 I Got Rhythm, then Ellingham. Tourbillon away from the markers, pushing Dead Cat Bounce out 3 wide for Tab Fensham. Dead Cat Bounce though looking to run into the contest out there now. Then Jomo and 12 Monkeys off the back. Ventimiglia over Macarewa Jake and 400 to go. The third quarter 29.3. At them quickly Dead Cat Bounce around I Got Rhythm who galloped at that point. I Got Rhythm back on the inside. Gentaris and looking to run on is Tourbillon. Homeward bound Macarewa Jake, but here's Dead Cat Bounce up on the outside. Tab Fensham goes to the lead with Dead Cat Bounce. Tourbillon's trying to chase it down. Dead Cat Bounce with a loose bandage pulls away by 3. Oh, here's a nice present for the new brother Toby. Dead Cat Bounce and Tab Fensham home. Second over was Tourbillon. They were followed by Ellingham. Photos fourth between Macarewa Jake and Jomo, then Ventimiglia. Gentaris, I Got Rhythm, blew it with a gallop across the top. Star Filly back in the field, as too was 12 Monkeys with an early gallop. Princess McKendon, Opawa Speed, and there was one pulled up on the journey. That was Brookside Colt, 250.4. We'll trim that up a touch with the 10 metres. 29.5 was the last quarter, and the final half in 58.8. Dead Cat Bounce resumes tonight and does it in pretty good fashion here too. $7.60 and $2.40 raced away from them. That loose bandage on the hind leg didn't cause too many issues in the home straight. Tourbillon working home. Ellingham there for third and a photo for fourth. The Radio Sport Handicap Trot. There's a pretty proud sister in the cart to come back on Dead Cat Bounce.
Official placings race 3, the Radio Sport Handicap Trot. 974-1181. 974-1181. Horse 9, Dead Cat Bounce, trotted the 2200 metres from a stand in a handicap and a net time of 249.6. Mile rate of 24.1. Last 858.9, the 429.5. The margins 1.5 lengths, 1 3/4 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths. 974-1181, race 3, Radio Sport Handicap Trot.
Tab Fenson back at the head of the field. Welcomed her new brother Toby David into the world this morning. So congratulations go out to Penny and Reese Fenson. And here's Tabitha back at the head of the field with Dead Cat Bounce, the Revenue 6-year-old bay mare out of Wee Annie, raced by breeders Mrs. J.A. Pemberton, Dr. C.M. Pemberton and M.J. Pemberton. Matthew Pemberton trained at Patamahoe, and Tab Fenson. Nathan Lang down there, part of the victory celebrations for Radio Sport. David Turner, steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, also in attendance. That was career win 6 at start 37 tonight for Dead Cat Bounce. 7 Tourbillon for second. A Dream Vacation 7-year-old bay gelding out of Sun Lamp. B.Y. Lim the owner. Richard Brosnan trained at Ardmore. Peter Ferguson. 4 Allingham for third. The Pegasus Spur 6-year-old brown gelding out of Cheeky Charm, raced by Mrs. C. McGowan and Mrs. J.C. Leslie. David and Claire McGowan trained at Pookie. Todd McFarlane. 9 Dead Cat Bounce, $7.60, $2.40, $7.60, $2.40. 7 Tourbillon, $3.60, $3.60. And 4 Allingham, $4.70, $4.70. Quinella, $46.20, $46.20. Trifecta, $957 even, $957. First 4, $9,058.30, $9,058.30. A $90 carry forward to the first 4 in race number 4. And the early treble, 8, 4 and 9, $108.10. $108.10. Dual sulky race out on the track here. Len Gurney, horse number 1, and 70 Sensation in the green colours. Adrian Buttercombe, horse number 2. Adriana Del May in the pink colours. Cheryl Watson, horse 3, and Party Time in the yellow. And Alan Harbridge, number 4, aboard Steve in the orange colours. So that's our dual sulky corporate race tonight. And the Pulse will be starting to race for these drivers. And it'll get up to a good level too once they get up to full speed. A lap and a quarter around the ribbon of light here at Alexandra Park. And if you want to get along and bring family, friends, colleagues, make it a great night, put this as part of your package too. A dual sulky race. You'll never look back. It's a great way to enjoy harness racing. 09630 5660 for further information. We'll get them underway shortly for the dual sulky race.
Pigs have been going to 2, 4, 6 and 1. Zipping Harry a half a length by 2, 29.93. And Zipping Harry by Magic Spike, pick bandana for Jason Mackay. Green light going through. Powers on the bunny up to the boxes, set to jump here in race 6. Ready? Racing came out good off the inside. Peaks Nightmare's going to run to the lead, moving around the outside us again, but Peaks Nightmare holds the leader about 3 lengths to Schuster. Down the back, Hoso Cosbega. Over on the inside there was Empress Kenner, a long margin away to Selena Fire, who all got into trouble with Mr. Scooter, and then came Miss Wilson around the turn for Homer, and the leader Peaks Nightmare, Schuster down the outside, but Peaks Nightmare too good for them, and beat in second place us again. They were followed by the other one in there was Schuster, Hoso Cosbega, and then came Empress Kenner, followed up by Mr. Scoot, Selena Fire, and the other one there was Miss Wilson. Those 3 were all in stripe around that first turn. The winner number 1, Peaks Nightmare, too strong at the finish.
1 beats 7, 2 and 5, $2.30 and $1.20 for number 1, Peaks Nightmare. That's 2 starts for 2 wins, both around the Gardens circuit for Peaks Nightmare. A Black Bitch, December 2013 by Barsha Bale out of Cold Ethel. 1, 7, 2 and 5 as they've crossed there at the Gardens. We're across to Ipswich for a Grade 5 heat here on Trackside 1, meeting code 34, race number 6. And again, the selections of Dean Jones as they're about to move forward for the 6th. 7 on top, Far More Senor, who's drifted out to $8.10. So he's tipped you some value here as Dean Jones. 7 on top to beat the favourite, 2 Social Dancer, 5 Maywin Wealth and 8 Habana Flex, 7, 2, 5 and 8. Following this, we're back at Hatrick for the second leg of the triple trio. Now, after the first leg, we're down to 78.45 live units. 78.45. Second leg is up for us shortly. Here's Dean Jones on track at Ipswich.
1, 3,
underway in the corporate race here, the dual sulky event, and getting out very nicely to be the early leader here will be Alan Harbridge in the orange aboard Steve, leads by a couple over Party Time and Cheryl Watson as they work the stables corner. Adriana Del May and Adrian Buttercombe in third, and 70 Sensation, Len Gurney back last. The dual sulky race out to the 800 metre mark, and Alan Harbridge and Steve will take them into the back straight, leading by a length and a half over Cheryl Watson, Party Time in the trail, and 3 back is Adrian Buttercombe and Adriana Del May, and back last Len Gurney aboard 70 Sensation. Dual sulky racing through the back they go, 550 metres left to pace as they get to the showgrounds turn, and bowling along beautifully in front is Steve with Alan Harbridge doing the driving, comes away by 3 here now over Party Time and Cheryl Watson, starting to get into the race Adriana Del May and Adrian Buttercombe, and also looking to run on as 70 Sensation and Len Gurney as they come to the corner though. Alan Harbridge and Steve to swing first over Adrian Buttercombe the outside and Adriana Del May, and here's Len Gurney, 70 Sensation starting to rock home down the outside, 100 to go, good 3-way battle. Adriana Del May and Adrian Buttercombe drive to the lead, kicking hard the inside of Steve and Alan Harbridge. Oh, very tight, but I'll give it to Adrian Buttercombe, and Adriana Del May will get the win. Alan Harbridge and Steve very gallant in defeat. Len Gurney and 70 Sensation, they will be the third across, and Cheryl Watson and Party Time to be the last. 2, 4, 1 and 3 in the corporate race tonight. Short margin victory to Adrian Buttercombe, and Adriana Del May in the pink colours will just get it. Last stride victory over the valiant Steve. Alan Harbridge doing the driving there. Len Gurney, 70 Sensation, just ran out of puff that last 50 metres, and Cheryl Watson and Party Time will be the fourth across. Dual sulky, our one and only race tonight. I'll come back. Dwayne Ranger will have a talk to all of our drivers here from the dual sulky event.
Yeah, have you got them?
Yeah, got the placing. First, second, third, fourth.
So yellow, green, orange, pink.
Yep. Is it Adrian's birthday too? Do you know how old she is?
60.
Well,
but you didn't hear that. You just guessed that.
And it's Len's as well, isn't it?
Well, Cheryl Watson, 4th out of 4, but how did you enjoy that?
My goal today was to come last.
It's probably not so much about winning, it's more about the experience. And how did it feel out there?
It was nice when we were just warming up, and then it got a bit scary.
Someone said out of the 4 drivers you were probably the most nervous. Would that be correct?
Yes, definitely.
Would you recommend it to your friends?
Some of my friends, yes.
Well, thank you very much, Cheryl. Congratulations and all the very best in future.
Thank you very much.
Could just call on now Len. Happy birthday, Len. How did that go out there, mate? Can you just describe your experience?
Yeah, really well. It's the first time I had a go in the sulky, and it's I could do it plenty more. I think we probably got 3rd, but probably next time it'll be better.
You're obviously not a harness racing or galloping novice. You've got ownership in horses. Can you just tell our viewers who you own in the harness game?
I've got rising 2-year-olds, both with Mark Purdon. They haven't been named as yet. One's by Better Delight, and I can't remember the other American stallion.
And have you had much success in the sport?
Only in the gallopers, not in the trotting.
And would you recommend this to your galloping mates?
Yes, I will, yeah.
Good on you, and well done, and all the very best on your birthday. Thank you. Alan, please. Alan, how did that go?
That was awesome.
Were you nervous at all?
A little bit, yep.
And do you have a little bit more respect for the guys out in the middle that are going sort of full throttle out there?
Yeah, pretty amazing.
You've done a lot with sponsorship with harness racing. Do you get a better insight now as to what goes on out in the middle?
Yeah, Smith & Partners, I love Alexandra Park.
That's good. And how long have you been part of the sponsorship?
I'm not sure about Smith & Partners as a whole, but quite some time. Yep.
Well, we thank you for your sponsorship, and we also thank you for taking part tonight. Congratulations on your 2nd place.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together for our winner, Adrian Buttercorn, please? Adrian, happy 50th birthday.
Oh, who's been lying?
Congratulations. Tell me about the experience. Did you think that you were going to hold on there? Because it was a pretty tight finish.
Yeah, I could feel it sort of going at the end there. It was pretty cool, but it was around the corners that I was worried because you felt like you were falling off, and I was trying to hang on to the driver, and he thought that I was a bit old for him.
You did have Todd Mitchell in the bike, who's won 4 New Zealand Cups, so you probably got one of our best drivers. Did you feel the adrenaline rush? Did you get nervous? What was your feeling swinging for home?
Quite excited. Yeah, I probably wasn't nervous, just I was pleased to beat Cheryl.
And is this a good way to celebrate your birthday?
It's a fantastic way.
Congratulations and happy birthday. You're a winner.
Thank you very much.
It's Dwayne Ranger signing off at the Dual Sulkies, and congratulations to all our drivers, and hopefully we'll see you here in 13 days' time for more Dual Sulky action.
Thanks, Dwayne. And runners are now out on the track here for race 4. Fillies and Mares mobile pace to open a treble and $90 of jackpotting money going through into the first 4 as well. Liquor Legends, your one-stop shop for all your beverage needs. 09 278 00 44. Scratch 1, 2 Jubilee Princess got feeling 16 and 6. 3 Nicole Vitasova, Salish Abernathy, 14 and 750. 4 Sahara Zona, Philip Butcher, 680 and 260. Scratch 5. 6 Heart of Dixie, Barry Purdon, 170 80 cents. 7 Everlasting Grace, David Butcher. Great to have David back on track as well. 670.
Play 6 starting here. Big Fat Gypsy off the inside. Box 3 for Spirit Run. Allegro Blast has the 5. 7 for Stellar Force. Winner on Monday. Second line, Big Time Rain, hot favourite Wild Effective, then Far Too Trendy Pink Shellac. Wild Effective 160. Some early pace in here, including him. Let's see, he jumps set. Racing Wild Effective out fast with Stella Force, and also Thrill on the inside too. Big Fat Gypsy. Up between runners here was Far Too Trendy. Big Time Electro Blast has got to the inside. Big Time Rain has got back. Around that was Spirit Run, and further back now Stella Force has been shuffled. Up comes Wild Effective, bolts in from Electro Blast second. Big Fat Gypsy just third. Pink Shellac was wide. Wider of that was Spirit Run. Then closer in we had Far Too Trendy, Big Time Rain, and Stella Force, who made a good beginning, suffered at the first bend. Wild Effective makes it 4 from 4 in New Zealand, 17.50. On a night they have not been running time, 17.50, just far, far too fast for them. Wild Effective. Bit of light rain just starting to... Is that light rain? Something's falling down in front, very, very light drizzle by the looks. 17.50 in the floodlights. And that's a really good time for tonight. Just blasted out of the boxes, and the 7 came out reasonably well. 1 came across on a couple of dogs. Far Too Trendy was there early, jammed up between the 1 and the 7, and 7 backwards there, and 6 got squeezed up as well. Pink Shellac got into it, but was trapped wide, and Allegro Blast got the run through on the inside. 6 lengths ahead, and half a length the margins. 17.50, just get some splits for you, but the opening split would be pretty phenomenal, you would think. Run home was 10.67, so yes, a very, very fast lead up. What's that, 6.83? Wild Effective is by Magic Sprite out of best percentage for the Wanganui East Bowling Club Syndicate, and it's win 6 at start 11 and 4 from 4 in New Zealand. 6.83 for an opening split. And a number of the syndicate heading down to the dais to greet their very, very talented sprinter, Wild Effective, with their Brendan Cole. Lisa Ahern gets her first win of the night. Mark, that's race 7, and Wild Effective will look to make it 5 at Manawa 2 on Monday. He goes around in race number 10 then.
Thanks very much for that, Rosso. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on this dog. One to pop into your race tracker if you haven't already. Wild Effective, $1.40 and $1 for the place. Number 4 defeats 5 Allegro Blast at $2.60. 1 Big Fat Gypsy, $2.60. Quinella, $6.90. The trifecta 55 even. First 4, 4, 5, 1 and 8 paid $240.80. 17.50 today was the winner's time for Wild Effective, and after 2 legs of Triple Trio, after the 2 legs we've got to 1.61 live units remaining. 1.61 live in tonight's Triple Trio as we look forward to the next on the program at Hatrick. That'll be race number 8 tonight. Class 4s, 7.54, Rodwanska. This dog who was a winner last week. Boston Lightning lines up in this one. Marlisa, who was a winner at the Manawa 2 on Monday over Wheelie Chili. That'll be at 7.54 here on TAB Trackside 1. Heart of Dixie is a pretty short favourite for the 4th on the program at Alexandra Park, Craig Thompson, but this race has a wee bit of extra interest because we see the return once again from injury of David Butcher.
Yes, Mark, absolutely. Looking forward to catching up with him very shortly. We'll have that interview played in around about 10 minutes' time, 20 to 8. David Butcher going through what happened and why he was off for 3 months. He drives runner number 7, Everlasting Grace here. This one for Jeff Small, one of the outsiders of the field. $14 on the book, $8.10 on the tote. Can tell you, Mark, through from the bookmakers, $5,000 bet here on runner number 6, Heart of Dixie. $5,000 on horse 6, Heart of Dixie. Best back runner in race number 4. Didn't get a chance to relay the bets from race number 3, but there was $1,000 on Dead Cat Bounce. So one lucky punter. Nice result on the mare by Revenue. Barry Purdon trains the mare by American Ideal, Heart of Dixie. This is what he had to say. Barry, Heart of Dixie, another one that's racing very well for your team. Gets into Ice Fillies and Mares race, and a good run last start after sitting park probably for the last 1400.
Yeah, she's a tough mare. She always gives her best. And she's in good shape too. She's pretty well, so she should be hard to beat tonight.
What's her forte, Barry? Is she a mare that needs to be on the speed, or can she basically come from anywhere in the field?
Well, I think she's a mare that needs to be really probably handy going down the back the last time. She probably does, and she just keeps trying. She's one of those.
I thought with the scratching of a stablemate, Love is a Drug tonight, and nothing majorly wrong with her. Just talking to Barry off camera, so she will be back, hopefully not too distant future. But Heart of Dixie with the scratching of the stablemate, I thought she was one of the better bets of the night tonight. I thought her run last start had a lot of merit. Now, that form behind Al Jacko's stood up to date. Obviously, Al Jacko's a nice horse. He's been sold to Perth. The horse that he beat, the Faithful, went on to win race number 2 tonight, and Heart of Dixie sat parked out and ran third, so the form really stands up. She's got a bit of a pedigree. She's a half to Maxim, of course, and also a half to the very nice mare of Todd McFarlane's and Splendour. So being a 4-year-old by American Deal out of that very good family, she's going to be a very valuable mare. This one owned by Roslyn Stud. Runner number 6, Heart of Dixie, for me, a standout in race number 4 tonight. There's 8 Stars in Sound. Matt Anderson takes the drive. This one for Logan Hollis. Logan's got a couple of runners in tonight, including Vinland later on. This mare's had a slight let up. Talking to him off camera, he said she worked very well during the week and expects a big run from 8 Stars in Sound. She's been placed in some very quick races through that Christmas period. I know on numerous occasions she's gone that 239, 240. Just always seems to find one better. Her form line, when you look at it, consistent placings, 12 placings, 3 wins. Lovely mare to own. This one owned by Ted Edwards, and paraded very well going on track tonight. 8 Stars in Sound. She'll be right in it. So for me, 6 to beat 8. Outside those 2, Sahara Zone is a sit and sprint mare with only a front row, nothing coming through from the second line. Barrier number 3 tonight's going to be good for her because runners 2 and 3 can leave the gate quickly. Jubilee Princess and Nicole Vitasova, I expect to be the first 2 off the gate here. The Sahara Zone is a horse that likes to just follow the speed, and she gets every opportunity tonight. Full Butcher aboard. I thought Sahara Zona, with the right trip, can run in the top 3 tonight. So for me, it's 6, 8 and 4. David Butcher's drive, Everlasting Grace, best of the rest in race number 4. The Liquor Legends, Fillies and Mares, Mobile Pace, over the 2,200 metres. And of course tonight, Kiwi Punters Championship kicks off at Alexandra Park for the first time. Hopefully we'll get an update as the night progresses. I understand Richard Bromley's up there tonight running that Kiwi Punters Championship, and I'll try and pop up there between races 7 and 8 tonight and get an update and just see how the boys and girls are doing in the Kiwi Punters Champs. Aaron White has come to you a minute and a half out from race number 4 tonight. We're only about half an hour away from the first leg of pick 6. This one for the Fillies and Mares. You're with 6, Heart of Dixie as well.
Yeah, she's been racing well, hasn't she, Heart of Dixie, for the 4 runs this campaign. Started the campaign nicely with a win, then subsequent placings see her as very, very hard to beat Barry Purdon. Stars and Sound, though, comes into this race. I think coming back into this company brings her into a big chance with the 2 scratchings, has her at barrier 6. Matt Anderson doing the driving. She'll be a big threat to the favourite here. Heart of Dixie on top for me, though, over Stars and Sound, who does run for a performance incentive bonus tonight, too, for Logan Hollis and Shane Robertson. Ted Edwards, the owner there. Sahara Zone as well in the mix. She's been racing well enough. She has to be in Quinella trifecta in first 4 bets. And yes, Everlasting Grace could win at Cambridge 3 starts back. Then backed it up with a 3rd here and behind No Apache Me, and then freshened up since being 6th and behind Killer Queen. And most importantly, it's a warm welcome back to a DJB David Butcher. Great to have that yellow cap back with us, Craig. Let's hope he can kick off. Well, the win may be here with Everlasting Grace. If not, he'll get close with Art Form in the next.
Absolutely, Aaron. He's stripped pretty lean and tight tonight, David Butcher. He's rearing to get back into it, and as you'll see in this interview in about 10 minutes' time, can't wait to drive his first winner back at Alexandra Park, and hopefully tonight with the drives like Art Form and Besotted, and even this one, Everlasting Grace, he may well greet the judge at the park tonight. Just note, punters, in this race there is only 2 dividends for a place on the tote, but 3 on the fixed odds. 3 place dividends on the fixed odds tonight for race number 4, and they're on behind the mobile for the Liquor Legends, Fillies and Mares, Mobile Pace. Favourite will start from barrier number 4, Heart of Dixie. Here's Aaron.
Thank you, Craig. Heart of Dixie, 150 now. Barry Purdon doing the driving. Stars and Sound at $4.50, $7.50 about Sahara Zona. $9 Everlasting Grace. With the runners in behind the Alabar Mobile Gate for the Liquor Legends, Fillies and Mares. First leg of the middle treble on the program tonight. Third leg of the early quaddie, 4 and 9 to be live in the early quaddie. As they work into the lane, 2 1/4 laps here under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park for the Liquor Legends, fillies and mares, just a half a dozen runners. Green light up. And they're often pacing. Nicole Vidasova's out strongly, but Jubilee Princess will race her in the early stages. Nicole Vidasova does cross for Salish, though. Sahara Zona will settle down third. Then Heart of Dixie, she'll be fourth. Onto the stables corner, Everlasting Grace and David Butcher. Great to have him back. He's back second last. And Stars and Sound, Matt Anderson's taken her back to last, the second favourite. 1,800 to go in the Liquor Legends. Up into the back, and Nicole Vidasova leads by 2. Jubilee Princess. Scott Phelan gets the nice drag in the trail. Sahara Zona, Phil Butcher third. A break of 3 lengths. Heart of Dixie and Barry Purden in fourth. Everlasting Grace has the back of the warm favourite. Lead time 42.5. And back last is Stars and Sound, the mare by Art Major. Off the back they come. 1,500 to go as they work the showgrounds turn. Nicole Vidasova clearly by 2. Over Jubilee Princess, getting that nice drag along in the trail. Sahara Zona's on a nice rein third. Heart of Dixie bowling along in fourth. Then Everlasting Grace. Heart of Dixie will come out in front of Everlasting Grace. So DJB into the 1-1 with her. And Stars and Sound will get on to the back of Everlasting Grace as they work down the lane. Opening quarter, 32.2 in the Liquor Legends, fillies and mares. Nicole Vidas over the Better's Delight mare down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. Over Jubilee Princess, the mare by Grin from ear to ear. She's had a nice luxurious run in transit with Heart of Dixie the favourite having to do the workout park. The mare by American Ideal. Right on her back is Everlasting Grace. Sahara Zona, the Ahoka Arizona mare, back second last against the markers, and Stars and Sound, she's back last as they pace out to the 800 metres. Nicole Viadasova cuts out the second quarter in 30.9. Leads by a length. Heart of Dixie, the outside of Jubilee Princess, in the 1-1 Everlasting Grace, the mare by Better's Delight. Then Sahara Zona, now awkwardly spotted 3 back on the inside, and Stars and Sound, she's full of running. Back last for Matt Anderson. Into the back straight coming up. 500 to go as they work the showgrounds turn now. And Nicole Viadasova over Heart of Dixie. Waiting the passing lane, Jubilee Princess. Everlasting Grace 1-1. 27-7 the back straight quarter. Stars and Sound, she's about to be let down now. Here she comes, and Sahara Zona the inside. Homeward bound Heart of Dixie gets to Nicole Viadasova. Jubilee Princess around those. Everlasting Grace, Stars and Sound. Sahara Zona up the inside. Heart of Dixie in front. She's under siege though. Here's Jubilee Princess, Everlasting Grace, Sahara Zona the inside. Heart of Dixie though, she sticks on strongly. Nice win. Heart of Dixie beats Jubilee Princess. Sahara Zona in a photo for third with Everlasting Grace, then Stars and Sound. They were followed by Nicole Viadasova in 241.9, 28.4, 56.1 was the last half. Heart of Dixie, Big Bar gets the job done. The American Ideal mare had a splendid deal for Roslyn Stud Limited. They've got 2 major chances coming up in the first leg of Pick 6 tonight too. Roslyn's second over will be Jubilee Princess. Very tight third, Sahara Zona, Everlasting Grace. Judge Graham McLennan can split that pair for us. Liquor Legends, fillies and mares. Barry Purden, too good. He gets his second as a trainer, first of a driver tonight. Heart of Dixie.
Official placings race 4, the Liquor Legends, fillies and mares, mobile pace. 627,483. 627,483. Horse 6, Heart of Dixie, paced the 2200 metres in 241.86. A mile rate of 158.4. Last 856.1, the 428.4. The margins a half length, a half length, a half head. 627,483, race 4, the Liquor Legends, fillies and mares, mobile pace.
Judge Graham McLennan with the call, and Heart of Dixie to come back at the head of the field. Career win 4 at start 14. Raised by Rosslyn Stud Limited will come back at the head of the field. Jeffrey Wu down there for Liquor Legends to be part of the victory celebrations. Pat Gubb, race night steward here at the Auckland Trotting Club, also in attendance as Heart of Dixie comes back at the head of the field. Nice win here too, bred by Charles Roberts, American Ideal Brown 4-year-old mare at a splendid deal. And nice win by Heart of Dixie, gets her second win this campaign, her 4th overall victory here tonight. 2 Jubilee Princess in for second. Grin from Edaware, Cruisy Lass Bay, a 4-year-old mare. Stonewall Stud Limited and the Stonewall Stud number 7 Syndicate, the owners. Steve Telfer, Chris Garlick, trained at Papakura. Scott Phelan and 7 Everlasting Grace will just get that call for third. The Better's Delight, Jessie Grace Bay, 4-year-old mare for the North Island Standardbred Breeders Association. Breeders number 1 Syndicate, Jeff Small, trained at Patamahoe. And David Butcher did the driving. 6 Heart of Dixie, $1.50 and $1.20, $1.50, $1.20. 2 Jubilee Princess, $5.30, $5.30 and 7 Everlasting Grace, no third dividend. Quinella, $10.90, $10.90. Trifecta, $68.10, $68.10. First 4, $191.20, $191.20. 9 and 6 in the double, $11.90, $11.90. 9 and 2 concession, $40.50, $40.50.
Oh, no, not really. The boredom gets me. Just having to sit there and do nothing, it's hard work, you know. And outside of that, no, I enjoy just sitting there and watching the boys go around, and they're not here tonight. That's probably why I'm back a week early.
Mate, it's been 3 months. It's gone very quickly. I mean, your rehabilitation, I'm looking at you now, you've slimmed right down. Your upper body strength, is that the biggest part of your rehabilitation?
Oh, you got to get back up there. It's not far away. It's not bad. I had a drive at the corporates on a Thursday night just to see what it was like, because they said I had to watch my scar because I got myself a 10-inch zipper down the front of me now, and I felt nothing. So it was quite good in that sense, and so I had a 3 at the trials, and then I took a puller out at home and hung on to that, and it all felt good, so we're away.
And it's great to come back, and tonight, exciting night for you, because not only is it your first night back, but you're reuniting with a couple of horses that are going to make their way through the grades. Let's talk about a couple of them. Firstly, Artform, a horse that you drove to win first up, and I know you rate it quite highly. It's great to come back, but it's great to be associated with a nice 3-year-old that looks like he could end up in a size stakes.
Oh, that's right. You know, that's what you're looking for, to drive those nice horses in the big races, and he looks like he's got the potential to get himself there, and we're going to find out tonight. We had to talk to Steve earlier on in the week where we're at and what he thought of him and how he was going, and it's just a find out period at the moment. There's 3 other horses in there that are very similar, like there's not much in them, and they'll all be heading to the size stakes heat as well.
Besotted, lovely pickup drive for you. I know you haven't driven on race night in the past. Lincoln Farms, he's an open class horse who's coming back from injury, but lovely drive to pick up tonight, Dave.
Oh, that's right. You know, you're always looking for those nice drives, as I said, and yeah, we'll just see how he goes. Ray seems pretty happy with him. He obviously trolled really good last week, and yeah, we just got to go from there. Ahoka Punter's obviously the one that we're looking at to beat, and we'll see what happens.
mate, from all the trackside team and all the harness racing community. It's wonderful you have it back on track tonight. And let's hope your first night back is a winning night.
Thanks for that, and all the well wishes out there for me while I was out. Thanks very much.
Yeah, David Butcher keeping fans updated via Facebook too through his progress to return from the second major injury in almost as many seasons. David Butcher, and when Michael Guerin was on Thursday Night Under Lights commenting that if it wasn't for his incredible obvious fitness, he wouldn't have been able to come back as quick as he has from these injuries. But he's back and picked up a placing in the previous race there at Auckland, and of course other chances as the night progresses there at Alexandra Park. Of course, looking forward to race number 5 tonight. That's due at 6 minutes after 8, where David drives Art Form. You heard him having a word there with Craig about that particular runner. Kamani lines up, Better Be Perfect, and Shandale, after picking up an award for the youngsters at the North Island Harness Awards. It's back at the races. Shandale at 6:50. That's at 8:06 tonight from Alexandra Park, and David Butcher back in the drivers' ranks. On start time for our next live race to go on TAB Trackside 1 at the boxes Bendigo. Matt Nichols, our form analyst, has gone number 1, Liam, on top in this upcoming race. Meanwhile, Ron Hawkswell in the 8th has also gone Liam, who's into $1.60. 160 and 120 for the place for Liam, number 1, to beat 8 Kid Audacious, 3 .com Diesel and 5 Cooters Cazelli. 1 on top to beat 8, 3 and 5, 1, 8, 3 and 5. Just quickly on Alexandra Park, $2,000 bonus first fours. So the money topped up by $2,000 by the TAB to celebrate the Kiwi Punters Championship at the park tonight. $2,000 bonus first fours. Here's Bendigo.
The outside, almost ready, 1 and 8. The favourites here, Liam favourite, 193.40. Kid Audacious set to go. All in. Racing, Liam on the inside began okay there with Bucklin. Bucklin straight to the lead over Liam. Then Kid Audacious got a Pratt on the outside, followed by .com Diesel. Then came Young Henry, who's out wide on the track, followed by Lady Tura, Curtis Kazari. And 4 or 5's Axis Sixpence up the back straight. Bucklin the leader, pressed on the outside now by Liam, who's swept to the lead now. Liam in front, Young Henry starting to finish strongly and coming quickly. Lady Tura down the outside. Young Henry takes the lead. Lady Tura, Bucklin over on the inside, but it's Young Henry racing clear to win it by 2. Lady Tura second, Liam third, followed by .com Diesel. Then came Curtis Kazari, followed further back then by Bucklin, Kid Audacious and Zaxa Sixpence, and the time round 28.12. Number 4, the blue. Number 4, the blue, gets the money here, the $500 for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Quaddy winding up on 1, 1, 3 and 4. About $2,355 for the quaddy. Numbers are 4, 6, 1 and 3. 4, 6, 1. 4th in 3, 4, 6, 1.
Yeah, 4, 6, 1 and 3 go the Blue Dog for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Yeah, Blue September. That continuing across in Australia with Go the Blue Dog. Speaking of the Blue Dog, we go from the meeting at Bendigo to Whanganui, where we have a $2.80 favourite out of box number 4 in the blue. Rodwanska, $2.60 and 1.15 with the bookies, $2.70 on the tote. This dog was a winner back on the 11th, so last Friday, this dog was successful over Opawa Jackie, brought up its 6th wins, got a 50% win record, has Rodwanska, the bitch by Dynatron out of Proven Lily. That was a C3 win, up to Class 4 here at start number 13, Rodwanska. Ma Lisa's at $3.50 with bookies. The kennelmate of Rodwanska, Lisa Ahern, has the majority of the field in the race. Number 1, Knuckle Bump, is having its 4th start this campaign. Has a good record out of box number 1 as well. Has won 4 from 5 out of there, Knuckle Bump. And again comes out of its preferred inner trap in race number 8 on the program at an each-way quote. There is the Bendigo result, 4, 6, 1 and 3. $18.10 and $3 for the winner, Young Henry. But back with you, Rozzo. 4, 5, 1 and 2. This dog in the blue is steadily and nicely rising through the grades.
Yes, indeed, Mark. Look, she was right back on song last week with a win in 30.05 and clearing out by 10 lengths and easily running faster than the Top grade dogs on the night, and that included Kilchurn in the Waterloo Cup heat, who was 30 and 44 or about there, 30-40. So Radvanska really has some talent. On Wanganui Cup night, she clocked 30 seconds, the same as a Lonesome Nitro winning the Group 1. She has had a couple of awkward runs in between times, officially listed as falling at Palmerston North in her first go there, and then never a lot of luck there, went fifth either, and then came out and ran quite an odd third here. But she was right back into it last week, and she steps up in grade and she meets a nice field, but just get the feeling based on last week she should do the job. Now, the initial step's not electric, and then her second phase acceleration is excellent. And if she's going to come out and run 30 in a touch here, well, she'll be very hard to beat, although the track's not running that quickly. Wild Effective did clock 17.50 in the previous. 5-dog Marlisa. Hearn has 6 of the 8 runners here. And Marlisa was a winner in a sprint. Palmerston North on Monday. Did the job nicely there, running away from Wheelie Chili. Now, last week here from over the 520 metres, led for a long way, got run down by Greater Jack. From those runs, look, she certainly didn't angle hard towards the round. She just got there as she wanted to, a nice, even, measured term, and I think that'll help Radvanska here. But Marlisa can get up on the pace and be a chance. Knuckle bump off the inside. Mark pointed out the excellent record he has from inside draws. Now, given the injuries he's had, he's not going to be quite what we thought he might be early on, because he did look pretty special. He was running some pretty good times, etc. Since he came back, the first up fourth it was a pearl. The sixth second up wasn't so flash. Fair fourth at Manawatu Monday, certainly from the inside draw. And with those 3 runs tucked under his rug, you'd expect that he'd go a pretty fair race here tonight. He is going to have a bit of a fight for that rail, though, because Boston Lightning's right next to him, and this dog is a pretty fierce railer. And last week he copped himself and others any amount of interference while he tried to get to the rail, eventually finishing 4th behind Radvanska. Got plenty of speed, Boston Lightning. He did win over the strip in a 30.49 2-back when he found the rail early. And 3-back, I should say. He's since won at Manawatu. Allegro Max, he's been sprinting of late, but he's only had 2 runs back this campaign. He's back up to the middle distance, very capable too. Be interesting to see if he can return to his very best form from that magnificent collision Hi-Fi Allegro litter. Premier Division's just out of sorts. His last 8 have been at Palmerston North, so he has a bit of a change of scenery tonight, and hopefully that can work for him. Check the Mail, Dog 7's been very good over a long period of time. Hard work for him from box 7 here, and Opawa Karen's won 3 from 4 here, but starting to get into some pretty serious company. To the traps here for race number 8, the Dopey Dog Laser Engraving, Class 4. Knuckle bump off the inside, Allegro Max in box 3. Gold rug here, Marlisa, Check the Mail in the black. Second line, Boston Lightning, Radvanska the favourite, followed down there by Premier Division and Opawa Karen. Radvanska at $2.90. Jumps off the 4, set to go the 8th. Racing. Radvanska steps fairly well. Marlisa into its work early too. Knuckle bump through on the inside, and coming across them here was Opawa Karen to try and get up close around the first bend. Radvanska's got to the lead though. Boston Lightning back along the inside. Check the Mail's outside of that. Gaps back the others here, headed by Premier Division. Back in the race to Allegro Max, and Knuckle bump shuffle to the rear. Radvanska comfortably clear. Boston Lightning to second. Marlisa next around. Rugby followed further back then by Check the Mail, Premier Division, Opawa Karen. Radvanska travelling easily, scores. Boston Lightning second. Third to go by Marlisa, then Check the Mail. Gap back Premier Division. Behind that runner then to Opawa Karen. Last pair here, Knuckle Bump and Allegro Max. Not quite as sharp this week, but 30.25, and especially the way they've been running tonight, that's probably a pretty good return. And she is first up in this grade. She stepped pretty well, and she was fierce about maintaining that lead, and she's kicked in very nicely. 2 just second, Boston Lightning over Marlisa. Another solid run. She's had a good week, and Check the Mail was close up too for those minors. 30.25 from the hop. Did the job, got out there quickly with Marlisa, and Opawa Karen showed up early. Boston Lightning then got through on the inside. Knuckle bump very awkward around the first bend, entangling with Premier Division. 11.66 has been the run home here, and just awaiting the other details. 4 3/4. Next, second and third, half a length to 4th. And the early sectional will be interesting. And it hasn't popped up there, so You can get all those details from thedogs.co.nz. Stu Barber brings the greyhound back at the head of the field. Radvanska is by Donatron out of Proven Lily. Lyndall McIntyre owns. Lisa Ahern trains back-to-back wins for the kennel. Wins 7, start 13. 5.04 the lead up, 5.04 and 18.59. A very good time to the back mark. That is the 8th on the card, and the 9th starts our quaddie. Mark, we'll have a look at the quaddie fairly shortly, and that quaddie leg 1 is at 8.24.
Good on you, Rozzo. Thank you. We'll be back with you fairly shortly to have a wee look at that in advance of the quaddie getting underway. The result of race number 8, the Class 4, and we'll bring you the Triple Trio result too. We had 1.61 in the main pool, 1.61 units leading into the last. Numbers you require in any order: 4, 2 and 5. Radwanska, number 4, 280 and 160. 2 Boston Lightning, $1.90, and Marlisa, number 5, at 160. 2-4 Quinella, 860. 4-2-5 Trifecta, 52.40, and the 4-2-5-7 First 4 returns 286.30. All the 4s in the double, 250, 4-2 Concession, 370, and the Triple Trio, after all 3 legs were done, 0.05 of a winning unit in the main pool. So the rest who survived 2 legs, 1.56 winning units in the concession, collecting a dividend of $287.20. Thereafter the Triple Trio. Radvanska taking out race number 8 on the card. Our next live race on TAB Trackside 1's a good one for a Friday night out of Alexandra Park. Great to see some of these horses back at the races, and it's certainly shaping up to be a cracker of a next few weeks and months for the 3-year-olds. Art Form, we've heard from David Butcher in the interview with Craig Thompson earlier, driving for the Reid McMullen team. This horse has won twice from 4 starts and lining up here now as a colt. Art Form, it's at 220 fixed odds and 125. Motown 360 and 350 for Kamani. Opened up around about 550 I think last night, when markets, of course, they open on a Thursday, and Craig was really excited about that. I think a $5 price was smashed in. By the time he told me about it, it was into about that 350 quote last night. So Kamani, it is the top selection of Craig Thompson. We'll be returning to him shortly for what is the final leg of tonight's early quaddie at Alexandra Park. The second quaddie at Whanganui tonight, Hatrick Raceway, is not too far from getting underway. Starts with the next Mark Rosanowski, and you're looking forward to continuing on the trend, the likes of Wild Effective, and just then with the favourite getting home, hopefully it'll be an easy ride through tonight's quaddie.
Certainly hope so, Mark. Hasn't been easy over the past few weeks here, and the early quaddie wasn't struck. There were only 2 dogs covered going into the last by a percentage, and they didn't show up. So let's get into it with the first leg coming not too far away at race number 9 on the card, and it's a very even Class 5 field, and it's certainly what a handful here. 8 Allegro Class keeps running first or second. It's at $3. Sedgebrook Magic at $3.80. Beat Allegro Class on merit 2 back. But isn't always the best beginner. Call Me Ralph resumes tonight, and the old fella's still racing well. He's at long odds. Pop Some Tags beaten by Allegro Chaser last week. Allegro Chaser's at 9, Pop Some Tags is at 5, but I'd want them both on my ticket as well. So going with a handful there. 8, 7, 3, 6 and 2 is the order I marked them, and wanting the lot there in a very open Class 5 sprint. And that means that obviously I have to go fairly skinny in the second leg in race number 10. So there we have it, 8, 7, 3 and 6, and adding 2 Pop Some Tags in there too for 5 dogs to get me underway in the first leg for a suggested quaddie. The second leg is the first security Class 5 race over 520 metres, and the short price favourite is Lonesome Nitro. And because I'm going wide elsewhere, have to go short here. Well anchored Lonesome Nitro was at 220 earlier today. Ran last week in that Waterloo Cup heat. It's hard to believe. He loomed up on the corner. He was 4th. He looked like he was going to run potentially into 2nd and qualify for Sunday's final. And we sort of ran into the back of Fabio, who then went out into Opawa Diesel, who was running into the race as well. And all 3 lost momentum. And somehow Lonesome Nitro ended up last. Was much better than that though. So it's a nice field, and there's some good speed in it, but Lonesome Nitro should do the job. 2, 6, 1 and 3. My numbers, 2 is the anchor will have to do. Leg number 3 is race number 11, and we go to a couple of Class 4 sprints to finish here. Our favourite is Cranky Pants at $3.50, running reasonable races. Quite keen on Homebush Zane for some value off the inside at $7.50. Have included it with Cranky Pants. Exponential Lily, who was back in the winner's circle last week. Not the dog of old, but still, he's back in winning form, which was good. And 7 Sedgebrook Babe is going for 3 straight. Cheap Shot Maddie's got early speed, so I'd want that as well. Going with a handful here. Let's confirm those selections. 1, 5, 6 and 7, and want to throw in the 3 as well in case he gets a cheap lead. Cheap Shot Maddie and there's trouble in behind. And then the final race, race number 12, Class 4 sprinters again over the 305 metres. And here we've got Alpaca as a $3 favourite. Well, look, I'm going to pot her again. She's just not racing as well as she can, anything like it actually. Was keen around Willy Chili and Semantics for value here. Semantics was pretty good on Monday against Class 4 and 5 opposition, so was keen around the 3 and the 5. All in Berlin drops back in class off some reasonable form, so the 7 included too. And also in there Tongariro, I think that's actually drawn to get a bit of a run between Semantics and All in Berlin. Happy to go against Alpaca there, so as we have a look at the selections for the last leg, if you want to include Alpaca, well of course, but gee, it's been a wee while since she's run up to her best. Even that third 2-back was a bit ordinary. So 3, 5, 7, 6 in the last. And then consequently we'll look to the suggested quaddie. We haven't gone quite as wide as the early one. We end up with 3 legs there, but not the first leg. So here we need to nail all 4. Going with 100 combinations does rely on Lonesome Nitro in leg number 2. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 leg 1. 2 leg 2. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7 leg 3, and 3, 5, 6 and 7 to finish. And let's talk about maybe a $20 spend there to pick up 20%. Let's get to Alexandra Park, only a matter of 3 minutes out from race 5 there. As I say, a very good evening to Craig the Whale Thompson.
Thanks, Rosso. Good time to join you. Race number 5 tonight. First leg of our pick six, $40,000. Great field this, headed up by Art Form, your 225 favourite. Second favourite is Kamani. Barry Purdon drives. This is what he had to say. Barry, race 5 tonight, Kamani, stable runner. It's a mini-size stakes field tonight, isn't it? We've got 4 very nice 3-year-olds there. You've come up with the nice draw. How's his work coming into tonight?
Yeah, good, Craig. He won nicely at the trials last Saturday at Pukekohe, and but as you say, this is a pretty damn good field. You know, there's 4 smart 3-year-olds in this, so you know we've just got to get the right run with him. But I like him. He's a nice 3-year-old, but as I say, the rest are nice too. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, he's a nice 3-year-old Kamani, and he's got the better draw of the favoured runners. It's whether he can hold the front from the early part of the race. There's good gate speed here, I think, from Art Form. I think Motown, they'll look to go back from the draw tonight. They've been racing him on the speed. I think they might teach him a couple of things tonight. He's drawn out at barrier number 5 or 6. So for me, I thought Kamani was one of the better bets of the night tonight. He was $5 into, I think, $3.50 last night or $3.75. He's at $3.50 at the moment, hearing through from the bookmakers. They're playing numerous runners in this race. 2,000 on Kamani at $3.50, 1,000 on Shandale at $7, and a couple of thousand on Art Form as well at that $2.50 quote. So the 3 runners that are backed in race number 5, Kamani, Shandale and Art Form in the 5th. This is a super field, completes the quaddie. Favourite way in the quaddie is around about $90 with number 1, Kamani. If you're playing into the pick 6 second leg tonight, well, I really like Whitney, the former Southern, now Robert Dunn. Big chance here. Any old ways in great form. Backmarker Real Man and Regal Petite if you're looking for one at longer odds. Ahoka Punter, I think you'll get back to the winner's enclosure tonight and make it 5 out of 5 fresh up. Never been beaten, this horse fresh up. Ahoka Punter last seen back in the end of April, and that was in the Messenger when running 3rd. Race number 8 tonight, the maiden. Atomic Betty and Prime Luster for me, runners 9 and 10. 5th leg of pick 6 tonight, Can't Refuse. Talking to Barry Purdon earlier in the night, for pick 6 punters, you need it. This horse will head to the Sire Stakes next Thursday night at Cambridge. Barry does like him, and he trialled well on Saturday. If you want cover, Tour Picker Sky. We'll talk to Ray Green prior to Besotta's race, get an idea how he's come up to a Picker Sky after running a nice second at Cambridge last week. And in the last, I thought Debs Powell and 4-star Shiraz. That's the claiming race. $9,000 claimers going around in the last tonight, the last leg of tonight's pick 6. That's a short summary. Get involved. You've still got time to get involved in that 40,000 pick 6. They're in behind the mobile favourite in a very even betting race now. Goes towards Art Form, just under $3 in front of Kamani at $3.70. Favourite will start from barrier number 5.
Thank you, Craig. A very nice field here for the Teagle Foods Mobile Pace to open pick 6 tonight. And, 4 very, very nice 3-year-olds in here. Kamani drawn 1. Shandale voted the North Island's 2-year-old of the year at their awards a few weeks ago. Art Form, he's unbeaten here at Alexandra Park. And Motown, he's looked really good in 3 runs this campaign to remain unbeaten. So the 7 runners down to dispatch. Starter Frank Phelan about to send the Teagle Foods Mobile Pace field on their journey, and Art Form comes out of the mobile with great gusto to take up the early running. Kamani will secure the trail for Barry Purdon, and Tassie's Devil will drop down to 3 back on the inside. They're followed by Bourbon Street, then Shandale, Motown, and Better Be Perfect to be the last as they get into Indian File around the stable's corner first occasion. So Art Form, the son of Art Major, is going to get quite an uncontested lead here at the 1800, a length and a half. Kamani, Tassie's Devil. They're followed by Bourbon Street, then came Shandale, Motown second last, and Better Be Perfect the last through the back. And Art Form down to the lead time in the Teagle Foods Pace. Let's see what he cuts that out. And it's going to be a cheap one, 45.4. Kamani's on his back. Tassie's Devil is third. Still no pressure coming from the back to these leaders. Bourbon Street in fourth as they turn off the back and work the showgrounds turn. Shandale and the Magic Man Morris McKendry third last. About to work away from the markers, Shandale. So Motown about to get into the 1-1 for Simon Lawson. And Better Be Perfect and the Iceman Tony Hurley the last as they work off the showgrounds bend and into the lane again with 1,200 metres left to go in the Teagle Foods Mobile Pace. Opening quarter 32.8. Art Form, he's going to be very hard to beat off the top with the first 2 sections of the race, 45.4 and 32.8. Kamani's got his back at the bell. Tassie's Devil third. Here's Motown starting to get forward now. Up on the outside, Shandale will now take 1-1 covered. Bourbon Street the inside, and Better Be Perfect around the stables corner their final time. Teagle Foods Mobile Pace and Art Form and DJB out to the 800 metre mark, and he'll get another cheap quarter 2, 31.5. It's going to be a sprint home, and these 3-year-olds, they'll light up Alexandra Park tonight. Art Form from on the outside, Motown, Kamani trailing Shandale in the 1-1, so the big 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now the speed goes on. Tassie's Devil, Better Be Perfect, Bourbon Street, 500 to go. Off the back they come, and Art Form, he's pacing along beautifully. A length over Motown. Kamani travels well in the trail. Shandale 1-1, 28 and 3 the back straight quarter. Then further back, Tassie's Devil. The race is on though. Art Form, Motown the outside. Kamani passing lane. Shandale out of the 1-1. Then Better Be Perfect. Art Form the deafness out. Motown a length away. Kamani passing lane. Shandale down the outside. 100 to go. Art Form. Here's Shandale. He's working into the hopple strongly. Art Form. Shandale lunging and gets him right on the line, I say. Shandale, Art Form, then Motown, Better Be Perfect, Kamani, Tassie's Devil, and Bourbon Street 244.8, 26.5 the last quarter, 54.9 will be the last half. Shandale, I say, last stride. Morris McKendry. Gerald Shan's colours storming after Art Form. And these two are right on the wire, a nose between them. But yep, Shandale, he'll get up. The North Island's best 2-year-old of last season has voted in their awards a few weeks ago. Art Form, he had all favours in front. Motown, he will be the third across, and then we had Better Be Perfect and Kamani there. Teagle Foods Mobile Pace, great to see him back. Shandale, the son of Art Major, gets a last stride victory over Art Form.
Official placings, race 5, the Teagle Foods Mobile Pace. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Horse 5, Shandale, paced the 2,200 metres in 2:44.81. Mile rate of 2 minutes, 0.5. Last 854.9. The 426.5. The margins are half head, 2.5 lengths, 1 length. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Race 5. Tegel Foods Mobile Pace.
Shandale will come back at the head of the field, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful return as a 3-year-old. This 3-year-old colt by Art Major out of Delightful Dale. Raced by Gerald Shan. Morris McHenry, the trainer-driver out of Pukekohe. He was voted the North Island 2-year-old of the year at the North Island Annual Awards a few weeks ago, and he shows why. Sub 55 last half, fresh up here on the back of a workout victory last week. Comes back at the head of the field. Mark Wah down there for Tegel Foods. And David Turner, Race Night Steward, also in attendance. Brecken Farms, or Brecken Bloodstock Limited, the breeders of Shandale. 6 Art Form, Art Major, brown 3-year-old colt out of Highfields Diamond for second, raced by RM and Mrs. D.E. Reid. Stephen Reid, Simon McMullen trained at Pukekohe, and David Butcher. And 7 Motown, Better's Delight, Touch of Grace, brown 3-year-old gelding for Roslyn Stud Limited. John and Joshua Dickey trained at Clevedon, and Simon Lawson. 5 Shandale, $5.20 and $2.10, $5.20 and $2.10. 6 Art Form, $1.80, $1.80, and 7 Motown, no third. The Quinella returns $7.20, $7.20. Trifecta $38.50, $38.50. And the first 4 $281 even, $281. The early quaddie 4, 9, 6 and 5. The faithful Dead Cat Bounce, Heart of Dixie, and now Shandale. $135.20. $135.20. Pick 6, 14,831.06 live in pick 6. 14,831.06.
Roulette from Erning, who runs to second. Lorry Driver getting going to third, then followed by, as they head down the back straight, Sprinkle Dust and Endless Shadow. After that you have a good gap to Spring Millie and Spring Beauty, and last of all was Kickham Springer. Before the bend in front still was Riley's Roulette from Erning. Lorry Driver runs to third using inside runs. It's Riley's Roulette in front from Erning and Lorry Driver, but Riley's Roulette will hang on from Lorry Driver. Third running on late was Endless Shadow, then followed by a Groofam behind behind that, you had Kickham, Springer and Sprinkle Dust. Then we had, after that, was Spring Millie and Spring Beauty towards the tail end of the field. And the time was around 31:20. Riley's Roulette, the winner.
So the numbers as they've crossed at 615 and a photo for the fourth that's still to be determined. Riley's Roulette will return 350 and 160 there, 350 and 160 for the winner, number 6. Defeats 1, 5 and 3's got fourth. So 615 and 3, 6153 and 31 and 21 there from the Ipswich Greyhounds. Back to local greyhounds in terms of our next race to go. TAB Trackside 1 Friday. Allegro Class is the favourite for the first leg of the quaddie. It's an open class sprint to get things underway in 6.5 minutes. We'll take a break and back with Mark Rosanowski on the other side.
One of these fitness trackers on my wrist, right?
Yeah.
Says I had 2.5 hours of deep sleep last night.
I've got a fatness tracker.
A fatness tracker?
Yeah, that's my missus. Tells me not, don't eat that. Don't eat that. You don't need any more of that.
Comes free.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
mate,
good,
exactly.
very good.
You're back with Trackside 1 Friday coverage, and of course TAB Trackside Radio have got the starting gates tomorrow morning at 8 with Peter Early and Albie Gain as they head towards the running of the second leg of the Hawke's Bay Triple Crown as Coe attempts to at least equal Sea Change in getting 2 legs of 3 in the Hawke's Bay Triple Crown with tomorrow's running of the Windsor Park Plate, tab.co.nz. or in your branch or agency for those markets. They are open now, of course, ahead of the big Saturday of racing coverage tomorrow on Trackside 1. It is Canterbury Bell Stakes Day, featuring the likes of Desi's Dream at Riccarton Park. The back end of that program will be on Trackside 2. Do take note for those who would like to follow Riccarton Park and Canterbury Bell Stakes Day, but it'll be the Hawke's Bay meeting and also Avondale in action tomorrow as a part of their full cards on Trackside 1. Early program from Riccarton will be here too. We're 5 minutes out from the first leg of the TAB quaddie, and in 3 legs out of 4, Rosso's gone pretty wide. It's over to the 10th race where you've got Lonesome Nitro, dog number 2, a $2 shot with bookmakers in that particular leg. Allegro Class. Well, this Lisa Ahern dog won at the Manawa 2 on Monday over Red Mover Hoover. Stepped out a $2 shot that day out of box number 5 and successful in 21 and 83 for the 375. Back to the 305 here at Hatrick, where the dogs won 9 from 20 with the 6 minors. 270 is the tote price. Fred Kite with Sedgebrook Magic, dog number 7, who's coming off a third here to Allegro Chaser last Friday night. It's also had a similar form line in its career to what Allegro Class has got around Hatrick, has won the 8 from 20. Fred Kite races and trains in out of box 7. Just appeared from box 7 once, and that was for a victory. Others you may need in this quaddie, obviously you need to go wide in 3 legs out of 4, as Rosso mentioned there earlier. 6s for Popsome Tags and Big Time Pulse off the inside, who's won twice from its last 3. Kennelmate of Allegro Class and YOY and Allegro Chaser. Others in this particular event. Ledger Domain jumps from the Ahern Kennels from box number 4. A winner of a Class 4 2 starts ago, and then 5th last week in that Allegro Chaser event. And Big Time Pulse was a winner from trap number 5 last week over Mega Jet in a time of 17 and 68, and into the inside box here. 3 minutes out, Rosso. Yep, the first leg of the quaddie with a bit of action here with bookmakers anyway between the 7 and the 8.
Highly competitive race this, Mark, and did settle on the 8 Allegro Class. Not easily, but he just keeps running first and second at the moment, so he's been reliable. It's going to be tough for him to get around this field, but He's drawn outside Sedgebrook Magic, and the key to the race is how Sedgebrook Magic gets off the lids, because he jumped pretty well two back and he just put away the field, including Allegro Class, comfortably in a 17.43. Now, last week he missed the kick, and he can do that, and he actually did very well to run third behind Allegro Chaser and pop some tags, and that's probably the key. And there's plenty of pace in the race with the likes of YOY, Ledger Domain. They can all get out early. Most of these dogs are pretty fast. Allegro Class did win on Monday, as Mark mentioned, off box number 5. So yes, went 8 over the 7 with Sedgebrook Magic. He's a dog on the rise. Now he's from the Sergio Stately Babe litter, and a littermate won earlier in Rapid Dash. And again, just mentioned at that stage of the night that a number of this litter are a bit hit and miss at the jump, and so, as I say, if Sedgebrook Magic jumps here, then all of a sudden he's not a 380 shot anymore, he's about a 180 shot. And if he just jumps fairly averagely, well, obviously he's in a great deal of trouble in a high-class sprint field, but he at least recovered for a placing last week. The interesting runner back is Call Me Ralph, as we get a look there at Big Time Pulse. Call Me Ralph, we haven't seen since the end of July. Now, he is rising 5. He'll turn 5 in December, but he keeps running extremely well. He beat Pop Some Tags 2 back, ran second to Senorita Tina, very capable sprinter, in the fastest time of the night the last time we saw him at the races. So what will he do fresh? Well, his last campaign, he was still very competitive at the highest sprint level. 6-dog Allegro Chasers at quite long odds for a dog that beat Pop Some Tags last week. I thought Pop Some Tags was probably a bit under the odds, and Allegro Chaser potentially over. On the tote, it's at 13. Let's get a good look there at Ralph, and here's Allegro Chaser. Lisa Ahern dominant again here with numbers 5. And a lot of class among them too. But Allegro Chaser has won 2 of its last 3. One from box 7 last week. No great time, but it can run time. It's a 20 race winner from the Collision Hi-Fi Allegro litter, assisted to Allegro Class. YOY is from that litter as well. Ledge Domain is also closely related. Been a phenomenal line. And there's Pop Some Tags. Well, look, he's been an excellent sprinter. He's won 28. Very good from the inside 2 draws. Last week, that run behind Allegro Chaser was all right. He hasn't been the vintage Pop Some Tags for some time. He's nearly 4 years old now, and he did have a fair gap between his last 2 races, Pop Some Tags. Look, he may have improved enough to score here, but I thought he was quite skinny. Nonetheless, I left him out of the 4, but still included him in the suggested quaddie. Sum of rugs, option 929, under 14.5 is $2. 15 and 16, 318, over 16.5, 240, but you will have to be quick. Dogs to the boxes, feature sprint of the night, Palo Mountain Scientific Nutrition for the Class 5s. Lots of pace here, Big Time Pulse off the inside. Call Me Ralph in the 3 resumes tonight, YOY. Box 5, out in 7 is Sedgebrook Magic. Relative newcomer to the grade. Pop Some Tags goes forward now, Ledger Domain. Allegro Chaser, a winner last week, and Allegro Class, a winner on Monday. Is the favourite at 380. Fascinating field, and we're set. Racing Allegro Class, just a moderate beginning. Sedgebrook Magic was slow, and so was Call Me Ralph. YOY gets out well with Ledger Domain. Pop Some Tags. Here's Allegro Class, goes right around the outside, and it's off for the prize. It's Allegro Class here from Pop Some Tags. Is followed through then by Ledger Domain around the outside. Sedgebrook Magic looking to recover. Down comes Allegro Class, wins easily. Pop Some Tags second. Sedgebrook Magic did well to run third. Ledger Domain was next. Then Big Time Pulse. YOY further back in the race to Allegro Chaser, and Call Me Ralph is last to greet. Well, he was only out in the midfield, Allegro Class, but he waited for the jam up and then he whipped around the outside, and he's clocked a 17.52, so just shows you that Wild Effective's heading for the top grade. It clocked a 17.50 flat, and this is Allegro Class, who is just in very consistent form, first or second for about the last 9 starts now. Pop Some Tags has run a fair race, and Sedgebrook Magic was very slow tonight and did well to round them up and run third, although there was lots of squeezing in behind. So we watched them 4 and 5 out well. Ledger Domain and YOY. Pop Some Tags pushed off the inside, and Allegro Class got around the outside while they were sorting themselves out. Big Time Pulse trying to get into the action. Sedgebrook Magic got around the trouble. Call Me Ralph didn't recover from that slow beginning. Allegro Class For Lisa Ahern, third win for the camp. Alan Wetherell owns by collision out of Hi-Fi Allegro, win 25, start 59. In a 17.52, 3 3/4 lengths was the winning margin, 1 3/4 lengths and 2 lengths. 7.01 was the lead up. Wild Effective was 6.83, remember. Run home here has been 10.51, which is very good. That is race number 9. And race number 10, Mark, is the First Security Class 5. Lonesome Nitro, a shortening favourite, and we're underway at 8.51. Just the note, 9 chasing the line into box 4 and 10. Springvale Harry is a Class 2 dog up against the Class 5s into box 8.
Yeah, the Cup winner, Lonesome Nitro, going around Smash Allegro at $4.50. $2 for Lonesome Nitro. Corborn Brick, Kennelmater the favourites at 5s. That's in the 10th race. Race number 9, first leg of the quaddie. 8, 2, 7 and 4. 8 Allegro class, $3.50 and $1.50. 2 Popsum tags, $1.80. And 7 Sedgebrook Magic, $1.90. 2 and 8 Quinella, $9. 8, 2, 7 Trifecta, $78.60. 8, 2, 7 and 4. The first 4 paid $593.80. With the treble wrapped, 4, 4 and 8, $13.10. 17 and 52, that winner's time for Allegro class. As Rosso mentioned, lining up against the likes of the up-and-coming Wild Effective, who went quicker. $3.50 for our winner. $3.50 for our winner in the first leg of the TAB Quaddie. Next up, in terms of live racing, we're back at the Ribbon of Light, and we're under it at Alexandra Park ahead of race number 6 on tonight's program. And this race is the Edwards Sound Systems Handicap Trot. Over the 2,700 metres, Jack McKinnon driving Any Old Way, who's won its last 4 on the trot, on its way to making up the 6 wins that it's had from 11 starts. This 5-year-old who was successful over the millionaire trotter Vulcan at its last time to the races, its last effort at the races. Races due in 7.5 minutes before our next race to go in terms of live racing, and we'll be back with Craig the Whale Thompson prior to that. And of course, we are still looking forward to New Zealand Cup contender Ahoka Punter. Ahoka Punter's resuming run later on. That'll be part of the quaddie. In fact, it's I think the first leg, it's going to be quite the first leg of that second quaddie a bit later on tonight here on Trackside 1. Back with the Whale shortly, but of course the Rugby World Cup is finally getting underway in England, and the Fijians have been pumping crowd noise into their practices to get used to the crowd that they'll see after the opening ceremony when England take on Fiji. And here's Staff & Co to tell us how we can punt on it.
TAB Rugby World Cup update, and it is game 1, and it's England taking on Fiji, as I'm joined by former All Black Richard Turner. And Richard, a lot of talk coming about that this could be a banana skin for England. Not for me.
No, I think that's all it is, Steph. It's just talk, you know. Maybe a little bit of basis for it, in that a lot of these Fijian boys now are performing in that European competition. They've got a crusader on the wing in Nemani Ndolo, and he can play the game, but look, it's England, first game at home in their own backyard, their tournament. They're not going to let this one slip, Steph.
We can see that the point start is quite a hefty, warm favouritism towards the English side. What can Fiji do to try and blunt this?
Look, talk about Nandola. It's no good having him there if you can't get him the ball. So their focus has got to be to compete with this English side up front. Easier, way easier said than done, because the English base their game, as we know, around a very strong, solid forward pack. Their set piece is good, their set piece is strong. So Fiji just need to compete. If they can get their fair share of ball, maybe 30-40% of the ball, they can shovel it out wide and try and run around this England team. They might have a sniff. But yeah, having said that, they've got some exciting young players in this England side. Watson on the wing is a real well player. I saw him play against the French. He scored 2 tries. It was just spectacular. So, look, would be real fairy tale stuff for the Fijians if they can't see it happening.
I can't believe you said exciting and England rugby in the same sentence. But we'll sit down, we'll watch, follow it, have a look at the app, have a look at the website. All the odds are there. Great to have you aboard for this Rugby World Cup.
And of course, be watching out for some Rugby World Cup happy hour specials in between 5:30 and 6:30 here on Trackside 1. Most days during the Rugby World Cup tournament, we'll give you some odds you can punt on, some enhanced odds on a number of options throughout the tournament. Now it's back to Alexandra Park for our next race to go as Pick 6 continues. And, well, we're a race down in terms of the Pick 6, and I think there's about 14,000 live in terms of surviving the first leg this evening as we get set for race number 6 tonight, which is once again for the Trotters. Only 4 minutes away, so we'll head back to you, Craig Thompson.
Thanks, Mark. Race 6 for the Trotters. Good field here. Any Old Way has been in great form. Never out of the money in the park in 7 starts, 4 wins, 3 placings. Jack McKinnon doing a really good job. Nice field this. Couple of horses that have trialled nice in the last couple of weeks. Reel Me In off the back mark, and I thought Whitney was fantastic at the workouts on Saturday. Would tip it quite strongly at the 5:30. I reckon it's a great each-way bet. Race 6, number 8, Whitney, now trained by Robert Dunn. And Tony Hurley takes the drive. Talking about Tony Hurley, he's got 3 runners in our feature race tonight, race number 7. We're joined by stable rep Tremaine Thorby. Trimmer, nice to see you at the park tonight. 3 in the major race. First thing we'll talk about is Vice Consul. He's done a wonderful job since coming north, and the champ's not driving him, but you got a pretty good replacement.
Absolutely. He's been a lovely horse. He's a lovely horse to own. Puts his hand up every week, and in that race tonight, he's definitely a place chance probably.
It is a good field. Johnny Fox is another one. I mean, he's preferential draws has put him out wide in a couple of his starts, but he's gone really good races. He's one of those ones that a little bit of a sit and sprint fare. He likes to get one run at them. He doesn't like to work hard early, but again, if he gets that right run, and what he's probably got is race day fitness.
Absolutely, he's probably got that over 2 or 3 of them. But in saying that, he is a one-trick pony, but his work has been really good, really good.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I mean, we haven't seen him for a fortnight, but at home, you work with some good ones. He's working well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a horse that we don't do a lot with him, but he's happy that way.
Let's talk about our Hoka punter tonight. He's 4th favourite for the New Zealand Cup. He's around about $11. I had a good look at him on Saturday, and he worked really well. He beat Besotted there in his work at home, fitness-wise, where he's at the moment.
He's probably fit enough without having a race, obviously, but, as you know with horses, he's a class act, 4 from 4, fresh up. Those sort of horses just, they can just take themselves through it.
Through safely tonight, Spring Cup, that will be on his agenda, I presume?
Quite possibly. Tony's just going to play it by ear and just see how the fields hold up, whether he goes down south a little bit earlier than he wants to, but just see how it works out.
You were to take notice of the last race, obviously with a 3-year-old. You've got Walkinshaw heading to Cambridge. How's he come through his run last week?
He's come out real good. Actually, super run first up, 2:42 parked. He's come through it good, nice colt. Be a good race next week.
I'm sure you're looking forward to it, mate. Always a pleasure to have you on trackside, and we'll talk to you shortly.
Cheers, bro.
Tremaine Thorby does a great job with the Tony Hurley barn and giving us his expert comments on the 3 runners tonight. Obviously, a Hoka punter holding centre stage here tonight. He's 4 from 4, fresh up, never been beaten. And of course, tonight, unusual configuration with the front row. Only 4 off the front and 5 off the second row. So, Tony Hurley, I'm not sure if he'd do it, but he has his opportunity actually to punch straight through from the second row and possibly work forward. We'll see what the man that's driven over 3,000 winners does aboard the 6-year-old stallion by Better's Delight, the Hoka punter. That race around about half an hour away. There's the trotter, Reel Me In, the back marker. Stable's had a win already tonight with Dead Cat Bounce. He hasn't raced since the beginning of April, this bloke, but as I say, he was at the workouts last week. Morris drove him, and I think he's going to look to drive him right through this season. 35 betters, it's a fair way back, but he looked pretty well forward to go tonight, and 390, 150, the money suggests that he is not far off. And even off that back mark, we'll take some betting. I put Whitney on top to beat Any Old Way, Regal Petite, and Reel Me In. 8, 6, 5, and 10. Aaron's with 6, 10, 4, and 8. Any Old Way on top to beat Lucky Fortune. Can't miss him. The Golden Mane, Lucky Fortune by Bryland Boys. He's found a spot for Reel Me In and also for Whitney. Aaron, as I come to you for race number 6 tonight, head to head here. Any Old Way versus Reel Me In. Good race, the last race, Shandell. You're chucking Walkinshaw for next week and a couple of others. It's going to be an exciting contest.
Yeah, it's be a good race, won't it, Craig? I've gone Any Old Way, looking for 5 straight here. Jack McKinnon, the race favourite at $3.60, $1.70. Take a power of beating. He's got that race fitness on his side. We know how good Real Me In is. The 35, if he does everything right, won't be a too big a handicap for him. Morris McKendry, all reports the workout win last week was very, very good. He's got a nice fresh up record too, Real Me In. The Pembertons, of course, took an earlier trot with Dead Cat Bounce. So Real Me In well in the mix. For Lucky Fortune, he's well in the mix. He's a nice progressing type by Bryland Boys, Andrew Neal. And 8 Whitney, having his first run out of the Robert Dunn barn tonight's been given a freshen up Tony Hurley to do the driving. 6, 10, 4 and 8 for me.
You thanks, Aaron. You're Whitney, formerly trained by Billy Heads in the seat deep south, now in the north and in the care of Robert Dunn, and as I say, worked very well on Saturday. Has had the advantage of having 5 starts at Alexandra Park, so certainly not the first time for him or her, the 7-year-old mare by Earl. And behind the tapes, red lights on here at the park for race number 6. First leg of pick 6 went to Shandell. Second leg, the favourite is Any Old Way, looking to make it 5 in a row. Here's Aaron.
Reel Me In back off the 35. Thanks, Craig. Reel Me In tightening right up here is the tote second favourite at $3.50. At this stage, just 20 cents off for Any Old Way. And at $4.40, Whitney. There's been plenty of support for Whitney tonight as well. Edward Sound Systems, handicap trot, 14,831 left in pick 6, and the barrier strands released thereof. Lucky Fortune, he just canned away, and he's back down and trotting now. Off stride early was Mobstar, but in fact he came down into a pace, Mobstar, so has been broken up out the back to try and switch him back into a trot. So San Diego Love and Royden Downey to take the early lead as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. Sir George Grey up to second as they've got 2,400 metres left to go. Then Regal Petite back on the inside. 4 lengths Whitney, then Charlemagne, Lucky Fortune, been restrained now as Any Old Way. Reel Me In to get underneath Any Old Way as Any Old Way looks to go back to the end of the pack and a long margin away to Mobstar. After bumbling at the start, he's back last. So through the straight they come, 2,100 to go. And around the lead is San Diego Love again after handing up to Sir George Grey. So Sir George Grey now nestles for the trail, 2 circuits out. They're followed by a Regal Petite onto the stables corner, 2 lengths Whitney, then Charlemagne as they trot an Indian File, Lucky Fortune. He's back third last. On his back is Reel Me In, and on the back of Reel Me In is Any Old Way, the race favourite. And a long margin Mobstar, 1,800 to go in the Edward Sound Systems handicap trot. San Diego Love, 1.5 lengths from Sir George Grey in the trail, and Regal Petite third. Whitney as the order remains the same as they trot through the back. Then Charlemagne, Lucky Fortune, Reel Me In, and Any Old Way with the lead time being posted in 1:29. So San Diego Love to the end of the back straight and onto the showgrounds turn again. 1.5 lengths over Sir George Grey and DJB in the trail, and 3 back Regal Petite. Whitney and Tony Hurley first away from the markers. Charlemagne into the 1-1. Lucky Fortune on the back of Charlemagne. Reel Me In and turn onto the back of the Chestnut. And Any Old Way, the race favourite, back last and a dozen lengths off San Diego Love as they work into the lane. 1,200 metres left to go. Opening quarter in 32.2. San Diego Love, Sir George Grey, Whitney starting to get closer now up on the outside. Third and parked around Regal Petite. Here's Reel Me In, the Magic Man. Gets the second favourite right into the race now. A circuit left to go. Charlemagne still 1-1, then Any Old Way. And Lucky Fortune. Stables corner final time. Reel Me In. Out 3 wide. Whitney, the centre, pushes up. They both get past now. San Diego Love. Charlemagne retains a 1-1 spot as they trot out to the 800 metre mark. 30.8 the second quarter. Sir George Grey away from the markers. Will find 1-1 cover as Reel Me In's taken over. Any Old Way back in the field with Regal Petite and Lucky Fortune. Mobstar, no chance, 600 left to go. Reel Me In to the end of the back straight. Leads by a length, Charlemagne, Whitney trailing, Sir George Grey 1-1. San Diego Love now 3 back on the inside. Any Old Way, Jack McKinnon with a patient drive on the favourite. He'll ask him to come into the race now. Then Regal Petite, Lucky Fortune, 30 seconds neat the back straight quarter. Reel Me In, he's got the ears prick coming onto the corner over Charlemagne Whitney. Sir George Grey, Any Old Way, Lucky Fortune to the outside. Reel Me In, Charlemagne right there. They go stride for stride. Whitney passing lane. Sir George Grey and Any Old Way. Charlemagne, Reel Me In the inside. Charlemagne, Reel Me In. Whitney late on the passing lane. Charlemagne, Reel Me In. Kicks hard. Charlemagne, Reel Me In. They hit it. Oh, very, very tight. Charlemagne maybe just over Reel Me In. They were followed Whitney and Any Old Way, then Regal Petite, Sir George Grey, Lucky Fortune. Back in the field, San Diego Love and Mobstar will be the last. 330.6 off the front, 28.5, 58.5 the half. This is very tight. Charlemagne, he had his nose in front for most of the home straight. Reel Me In, he's kicked right on the line. No, Charlemagne will do it. Charlemagne will get the win over Reel Me In. Whitney on the passing lane. Sir George Grey, Any Old Way down the outside, will pick up fourth. In a photo finish, Charlemagne picks up his fifth victory here at Alexandra Park, his 14th overall victory in the Jules winner. Back into the winner's circle, Charlemagne and Philip Butcher.
Official placings, race 6, the Edward Sound Systems Handicap Trot. 9, 10, 8, 6, 2, 5. 9, 10, 8, 6, 2, 5. Horse 9, Charlemagne, trotted the 2,700 metres from a stand in a handicap in a net time of 328.5. Mile rate of 24.3. Last 858.6, the 428.5. The margins are half head, 1 length, a half length. 9, 10, 8, 6, 2, 5, race 6, Edward Sound Systems Handicap Trot.
Charlemagne back at the head of the field, raced by Colin Butler in the estate of Mrs. R.M. Butler. Colin Butler trained at Cambridge. Philip Butcher back at the head of the field. Charlemagne the Earl. Lady Odette, 8-year-old brown gelding, and that's career win 14 at start 78. A couple of those victories been on Jules Day as well. Bred by the Alta Breeding Company Limited. And back at the head of the field, Ed Smith down there for Edward Sound Systems, part of the victory celebrations, along with Pat Gubb, race night steward here at the Auckland Trotting Club. 10 Reel Me In, Valiant in Defeat, fresh up the Real Desire, 7-year-old bay gelding out of Colour Me In, Splash Out Syndicate the owners, Matthew Pemberton trained at Patamahoe, Morris McKendry, and 8 Whitney for third, Earl Greet the Sun, 7-year-old bay mare, J.A. McKinnon the owner, Robert Dunn trained at Pukekohe, and Tony Herlihy. The totes will show number 9 Charlemagne, $32.40 and $6.30, $32.40 and $6.30. 10 Reel Me In, $1.70, $1.70, and 8 Whitney, $1.60, $1.60. Quinella, $57.90, $57.90. Trifecta, $469.80, $469.80. And the first four, $2,334.50, $2,334.50. 5 and 9 in the double, $88 even, $88. 5 and 10 concession, $6.60, $6.60. And the 6, 5 and 9 treble, $225.20, $225.20. We'll have an update on pick 6 with the horses coming out on the track for race 7. The Chevalier wholesale produce mobile pace over the 2,200 metres. Just don't have an update there yet on pick 6. We'll give that to you as the horses come onto the track for race 7.
My Trial by Jury has not spent a penny. And then came Run Fat Boy, Run an Ideal Legacy. The next pair were Dusty Delight racing on the inside, a Fistful of Dollars, followed by Snoop Stride. A neck away on the outside as Time Seal, and whipping them in as Badowitz as they run down the back straight in the direction of the 800 metres. And it's Mickey McRooney, the leader. Goes through that split in 29.1. 58.7 for the half. Led the way a length. Second is It's All About Lou, My Trial by Jury, and Run Fat Boy runs next on the outside of Ideal Legacy. Fistful of Dollars is next in the running line, followed by Dusty Delight, and then Time Seal, Snoop Stride, and Badowitz whips them in as they run down between the turns now with around 500 left to go. Mickey McRooney a neck in front. In second spot, It's All About Lou giving chase. Here's Run Fat Boy Run coming up 3 deep. My Trial by Jury works away from the inner, and then Ideal Legacy and Fistful of Dollars runs on, and Time Seal will have to come right to the outside as they pack on the turn. Mickey McRooney's gone. 29.7 the split, going to the leaders. Run Fat Boy Run. Ideal Legacy's in hot pursuit on the outside. Running on as Fistful of Dollars. Ideal Legacy went to the lead. Back to the inside as My Trial by Jury. Further out on the track as Fistful of Dollars, but it's Ideal Legacy. Ideal Legacy hit the lead, comes away, and Ideal Legacy beats Fistful of Dollars and Time Seal. Fourth home Run Fat Boy Run. Then My Trial by Jury, who had a checkered passage when the leader dropped out. Then Badowitz followed by Snoop Stride, 4 or 5 away. Then to It's All About Lou. Long margin off to the last pair. They were Mickey McRooney and Dusty Delight. 27.1 last quarter, and the mile rate 156.1.
One beats at 6 and 8 as they've crossed. One beats 6, 8 and 3 from Menangle on race number 2. Ideal Legacy for Robbie Morris and trainer Kerry-Ann Turner. Successful, the 5-year-old brown gelding by American Ideal out of the LA Pacific. $9.20 on the win-tote return for Ideal Legacy. Race number 10, first of a treble next from Hatrick Raceway. Class 5s over the middle distance, 5.20. Lonesome Nitro, Mark Rosanowski is a $2 bookmaker's favourite.
Mark, looking forward to this race. Lonesome Nitro backed in from 2.20 this morning. A dog who hasn't won in 4 starts since the Group 1 Waganui Cup. Ran second in a Group 2 race at Cambridge the start after. Missed the start, ran into third after that. Slowly away, got beaten in nose by Fabio after that. Last week, the Waterloo Cup heat. Difficult race to describe. Not that well off box 3 again. Charged into it coming across the top. Fourth, closing in on the leaders. Looked like he could qualify. Tried to whip round the outside. Crashed into the back of Fabio. A Powered Diesel was interfered with in the same incident. And Lonesome Nitro ended up crossing last. Kilchurn winning, and sees a chance. A sprinter who was back in 5th place cut the corner. Ran into second and earned its place in the Group 1 on Sunday at Monaco. Well, Lonesome Nitro, chance for redemption tonight. He's drawn box 2, so he's close enough to the rail. Lots of speed, box 1, Smash Allegro, so he can follow that speed. There should be speed from the 6, Angie Zar, as well, which will make this race very, very interesting. So went 2, Lonesome Nitro on top. Charlemagne at Alexandra Park paid huge money, 32.46.30, $1.70 the 10, 160 the 8. Quinella 57.90, Trifecta 469.80, 9.10.86 first 4, 2,334.50. Now, Angie Zar is a very promising sprinter who had her first run at 520 metres last week in that Waterloo Cup heat and ran 4th. Showed really good early speed, led for a long way. Now, to be fair, if the trouble hadn't occurred on the corner, then she might have finished 6th or 7th, but I'd be fascinated to see where she finishes tonight and what she does, and I'd give her a bit of a chance here. Be interesting to see if she's sharpened up or flattened out, or been flattened by that $40,000 pick 6 tonight. 432.44 live at Alexandra Park, 5 and 9. The numbers there. Smash Allegro off the inside, good fast dog, usually sets the pace. He hasn't lasted to win here for a while. He was disappointing by his own high standards at Manawatu on Monday. He didn't jump quite as quickly and he did drop out, which worried me a wee bit, but I expect he'll be back to his usual tonight. Corborn Brick was in that Waterloo Cup. He was right out the back coming to the corner. That trouble occurred and he charged home for third. His sister Corborn Midget won earlier. Corborn Matty might hold the key to the race, the 5. He's been cutting hard left and he could open it up for Angie Zara and maybe even Ritza Danny, who won a fortnight ago a Class 4 race. And chasing the line, this is a dog that's had some pretty solid wins at Wentworth Park, including a 29.67 there back in December. He's just had the one run in New Zealand. That was on Monday at Manawatu. Springvale Harry, Class 2 dog, wears the blinkers up against the Class 5s. Well, he did that in his New Zealand debut, ran second to Zipping Rory. Lined and ready here for race number 10, the first security class 5. Favourite Lonesome Nitro off box 2 at $2.20. Ready to run. Racing, Smash Allegro out well, Lonesome Nitro moderately away again. Corborn Brick gets out nicely tonight. Angie Zars missed the kick tonight. Now there's a heap of them around the first bend, and Corborn Brick has come out in front. From Springvale Harry charges up the outside, and Lonesome Nitro works through to third. Then chasing the line, Angie Zar next to go through. They'll be followed then by Ritzer Danny, Smash Allegro, no chance, nor Corborn Matty across the top. In front is Corborn Brick. On the inside, Lonesome Nitro. Then Springvale Harry chasing the line down the outside. Up they come, Corborn Brick holding Lonesome Nitro. Corborn Brick from Lonesome Nitro. Matt Roberts, Quinella. Springvale Harry, another massive run from the Class 2 for third, chasing the line, and Improvers run fourth. Followed and then by Ritzer Danny. Smash Allegro back behind that. And further away to Angie Zara and Corborn Matty. Corborn Brick won the break tonight, 30.55. So, again, no real time. Radvanska earlier, much quicker on a 30.25. She's promising, as we know. Corborn Brick in front and just kept going. Lonesome Nitro, he had his chance. He got a nice run through at the first bend when there was a ruck of them going around the first bend at once. Springvale Harry, for the second time in his New Zealand campaign, as his many starts, has lined up against the Class 5s and run a placing. Real jam up at the first bend. Corborn Brick out much better tonight. Held out chasing the line. Springvale Harry. Smash Allegro, he's had an unhappy week. And Lonesome Nitro just got past him and might have given him the chop at the first bend. Honours with the 3, Corborn Brick. Matt Roberts bags the Quinella here. So 30.55, run home 11.77. Ahead, 1 1/4, 3/4. And the numbers 3, 2, 10 and 9. 5.08 the lead up, moderate for this grade, and 18.78 for the second mark. Same applies. 11.77 the run home. By Oaks Road out of Asterix for Stu Dickinson. Second winner for the litter tonight, with Corborn Midget winning earlier. And he's held out the favourite, Lonesome Nitro. And a couple to follow out of this. Well, Springvale Harry, Class 2 against the Class 5s, but Mark chasing the lines, one worth following from here on in. We're back with race number 11 on the card at 9.17.
Good on you, Mark. Thank you. Ideal Legacy there at Menangle. Got the previous result on screen there from Menangle. We'll grab the Wanganui result for you in just a moment. Was wondering there. Saw the 1 on top, and then we saw the 3 coming back at the head of the field. But the winner there at Menangle, 9.20 and 2.50 Ideal Legacy. Fistful of dollars, 2.20. Time Seal running third after getting back at the start, but finished on well. 190, had to come wide though. Quinella 17, trifecta 216.30. First 4 paid the pool at Menangle on the second event there. Numbers at Wanganui were 3, 2, 10 and 9. 3, 2, 10 and 9, the 2 reserve dogs filling third and fourth. In behind, Corborn Brick paying $7.30 and $1.70. Lonesome Nitro $1.30. Springvale Harry $2.50. 2 and 3 $5.90. 3, 2, 10 trifecta pays $142.70. First 4 paid $560.30. 560.30. Double 8 and 3 $26.10, and the concession pays $2.70 on 8 and 2. Looking forward to a Hoka punter stepping out in the next from Alexandra Park, which does kick off our second quaddie this evening. Craig Thompson, we've seen Charlemagne back in the winner's circle at $32 odd, and we've got a $1.30 fixed favourite in the returning a Hoka punter.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, $1.30 on the fixed odds, $1.50 on the tote. Paraded a wonderful order. We've heard from Tremaine Thorby about the progress of a Hoka punter this time up. He's had a couple of workouts, very happy with them. Fitness-wise, he is a stallion, so he's a 6-year-old now, and it takes a little bit to come to it, but stable very happy with his progress this time up. He's got a wonderful record fresh up, never been beaten, 4 from 4. And he's drawn the outside of the second row. Initially look at that and think it's not great, but there's only 4 off the front and 5 off the second row. I think he can anchor and mark. I think he should be getting home here. We'll hear Ray Green's thoughts about Besotted very shortly, but a Hoka punter, for me, I think he's a standout in this event. The dangers, Besotted worked well on Saturday. Unforgiving, excellent trial. She can run the top 3 or 4 here. And I thought the best roughie is Ideal Flyby. What she's got is race day fitness. Her 2 wins this time up have been good, and she should get a good run through from the second row. But a Hoka punter, the class horse, the winner of $600,000. I think he'll be taking out race number 7 tonight. Race number 8, this one for the maidens. Very keen here on Prime Luster. Was about 460 an hour ago into 380. Trained by the Telfer Garlic team. Scotty Phelan takes the drive. This one was good at the park last start behind Concord. 2,700, I think, holds no fears for him, and he's to the second row following out Eye Catcher Courage. Very keen on Prime Luster here. Atomic Betty will catch up with Barry Purden's thoughts about her. She's just need a little bit of luck from the second row. Follows out one that doesn't leave the gate that quickly. So was $1.90 this morning, out to $2. I think you may get closer to the 3 by the time the tote closes. Anyway, $3.60 on the tote at the moment. Atomic Betty a chance. Wimbalari was good at the workouts on Saturday, and Eye Catcher Fire. 10, 9, 11 and 2, race number 8. My numbers. Race 9 for the maidens. Very keen on Can't Refuse. We highlighted him on the show last night with Mark Cookson under the lights. His workout last week was good. His 2-year-old form was strong behind Walkinshaw. Not an ideal draw, but I asked Barry what he thought of him. He said good enough to go to the Sire Stakes heat next week. Should be good enough to take out a maiden. 8 Can't Refuse on top. The Dangers Tour Picker Sky. Good chance. I thought the 2 Paulette Screen Runners, Eyebrow and Eyes on the Money. If you want to cut the roughies to take in your quaddie, make sure you put in runners 2 and 7. Lucky lasters for the claimers as we bring up those selections. 8, 5, 2 and 7. 8, 5, 2 and 7. The last... Oh, Deb's Pal. This one trained by Timmy Vince. Brett Mangos aboard. Could upset them in the last. 4-star Shiraz. 140 out to 160 at the moment. Simon Lawson takes the drive for John Dickey. With a Vengeance, the second of the Tim Vince runners, is a chance here. And Noah Pachimi won well enough last start for James Stormont to be a chance in the last. My numbers, 4, 7, 9 and 5. 4, 7, 9 and 5 in the last tonight. That's for the claimers. If you want to claim one, you can. I think most of them going for around about that $9,000 dividend. Race number 7, our feature tonight, Besotted. It's great to have him back on the track. He's been off the scene for just over a year. Caught up with his trainer, Ray Green, and this is what he had to say. Ray, thanks for your time tonight. You've got 2 in. Let's talk about Besotted. We haven't seen him for over a year now. I know in the media it's been a long, steady build-up. How is he going into his first assignment tonight?
Well, he's probably ahead of schedule. He's going better than I expected him to be at this stage, but we'll have a go. Somewhere.
Last week you were at the workouts with a Hoka Punter, race rival tonight. Happy with the way he's come through the run and the way he travelled through the race?
Look, he trialled beautiful. I couldn't be happier with him. He's pulled up really good, so here we are. See what happens tonight.
For the viewers that don't know what's happened to him in the past, the last 12 months, what was the injury curtailed that's put him aside for such a long time?
He had a small tear in a suspensory ligament, which required a fairly lengthy spell, which we gave him, and he's had a very long build-up. We've been jogging him for months, and it's been a long prep, this one. So, we'll see what happens from now on. His legs almost perfect. Yeah.
Okay, expectations tonight. I know safely through the race would be the most important thing, but fitness-wise, a Hoka Punter's in there, and we know how good he is on his day, but you're expecting a big run from your fella?
Well, a Hoka Punter and Besotted are both coming back from a spell, so they're both in the same boat. You can't simulate race fitness, but what he's done at the trials has been quite satisfying, really.
Tour Picker Sky goes around the maiden race tonight. I thought the run at Cambridge had a lot of merit.
Yeah, it was really good. We've been having problems with her as well, but we started gluing her shoes on instead of nailing them on, and that's helped her immensely, and she got round really well at Cambridge. The young Shane said he could do what he liked with her, so she's a tidy filly, and I expect her to go quite well tonight.
2 good chances in. Team's going well at the moment. All the best with these 2 tonight.
Thanks, Craig.
It's Ray Green's thoughts about stable runners Besotted and Tour Picker Sky going around in race number 9 tonight. He looked well Besotted going through. He hasn't raced for 14 months. Still a strong and steady build-up, and he'll be competitive here tonight, but he can't beat race day fitness, and there's a few in here, the likes of Ideal Flyby, Johnny Fox, Besotted, Johnny Fox Vice Council. They've all had race day form in the last 6 to 8 weeks. Besotted, he's at 7:21.70. David Butcher aboard tonight. For me, a Hoka punter, I thought you only have to go back to his Auckland Cup run. Beginning of March, he was placed behind, arguably, the two best horses going around at the time, Chris and Me and Adore Me. They went 3:13 for 2,700 metres, and that night he was less than a neck away from the winner. $1.60 at the moment. Well, that's super money. The $1.30 on the fixed odds is where I think he'll close at, and one punter has taken 10,000 on him at that quote. So the Hoka punter, the 6-year-old by Better's Delight, owned by Katie Carville, Tony Hurley and S.W. Waters. 15 wins from 28 starts, and his record at Alexandra Park is exemplary. 16 starts, 9 wins, 6 minor placings. Only missed a placing once at Alexandra Park. A Hoka punter, in his record at the 2200, 9 starts, 7 wins and 2 placings. For me, he stands out in tonight's first leg of the quaddie. His last 2 starts were back at the end of April, and they were behind, obviously, Mosdale Cunner and the Taylor Mile and Sky Major and the Messenger. Other chances in the race. I thought Unforgiving, lovely mare, big step up in class for her tonight. She's predominantly been taking on the class 3 and 4 paces. Can she measure up to this class? I think in time she can. I think she's a place chance tonight from a nice handy draw. She's at $8, $1.90, barrier 2, good draw, only 4 off the front. She's the real deal, can leave the gate quickly, but I think Stephen would be quite happy if he could get across early and trail the right one. So Unforgiving in my top 3, and I found a spot for Ideal Flyby at longer odds purely because she's got race day fitness on her side and she's been racing very, very well. 13, 12, 3 and 9. 13, 12, 3 and 9. Aaron's 13, 12, 3 and 5. Ideal Success last start in the Jewels behind Sky Major when running 11th. He'll start from the outside of the front. Aaron, as I come to you, he's a good horse, a Hoka punter. He's 4th favourite for the New Zealand Cup at $11, and he makes his resumption tonight.
Yeah, placed in the Auckland Cup, of course, beaten what a nose and a half ahead in behind the 2 superstars, Chris and Me and Adore Me. He looks good out there in the coat as well. He's unbeaten in 4 runs fresh. I'll say that will continue tonight after his workout win last week. He's $1.60, $1.30. Mobile conditions have him right in the race. 12 Besotted. Great to see this bloke back out there. The American Ideal gelding had a few problems after, of course, his runs through the Taylor Mile, which he won 2 years ago, and we'll make that a year ago. And of course, then took on the Messenger and had a problem out of that. Besotted, but he's back. Good to see him back as well. It was a good workout second the other week. Unforgiving's in the mix here too. She comes up with a nice draw, the Yard Major mare. And Ideal Success, this is the other of Anna's resuming tonight. Of course, a lot better, went nicely in race number 2. I've got a lot of time for this horse, Ideal Success. Of course, he was the king of the Grass Cups last season, Craig. You need a big mantelpiece to get all of those cups on that he won last season, Ideal Success. But he's not just a grass tracker, we know that. He should be in the fight here tonight. 13, 12, 3 and 5.
No, he's a very good horse, Aaron. He's assessed at C8. He's in the nominations for the New Zealand Cup, and you're quite correct. He's not just a grass track horse, and saying that, he's going to be racing some very, very good open class horses in his 5-year-old season. Just caught up with Maurice McKendry on the track too, asked him about Shandale, and he was over the moon with the way he performed. He said going in tonight he expected him to prove on the run. Outstanding performance.
We'll start the outside of the second. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver. He's the real deal's drawn on the inside. Unforgiving comes forward, as to First Home and Ideal Success. Second row, Ideal Flyby, Vice Consul, Johnny Fox, Besotted and a Hoka punter. Thank you, Craig, as this high-calibre field work into the lane under the ribbon of light, 2,200 metres the journey. Chevalier Wholesale Produce, Mobile Pace, green light. They're off, out fast. She's the real deal, off the arm nicely. Well, look at Ahoka Punter now. He's come from the outside of the second row with the only 4 or 5 on the front line. He's managed to get around to be up against Unforgiving as they work the stables corner here. Unforgiving will take the lead and now automatically hand over to the race favourite, Ahoka Punter. She's the real deal third. Then came First Home. The next is Ideal Success. Back on the inside is going to be Ideal Flyby. Off stride for a stride or two there was Vice Consul as they turned up into the back. Back in the field, Johnny Fox and Besotted. So Ahoka Punter down to the 1600 metre mark. And 41.6 was the lead time. So he did have to burn from that draw, but he settled beautifully now with the ears pricked. Unforgiving in the trail. Up on the outside, Ideal Success, if she's the real deal, and First Home into the 1-1. Ideal Flyby to his inside as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. Back in the field then was Vice Consul and Brent Mangos. On its back is Johnny Fox and the Magic Man Morris McHenry and Besotted and David Butcher. They're back at the end as they work into the lane. They've got 1,200 metres left to pace, and Ahoka Punter just bowling along in front, 32-2, so he got away with a nice quarter after the 41.6 lead time. Unforgiving trailing. Ideal Success sitting out parked. Is coming forward now is Johnny Fox. Right on his back is Besotted. Then First Home back on the inside. She's the real deal. Vice Consul second last. Ideal Flyby is the last. 900 to go. Chevalier Wholesale Produce Pace and Ahoka Punter leads by a length. Getting up to his wheel now up on the outside was Johnny Fox. Unforgiving in the trail. Second quarter 29.7. Besotted gets right into the contest. Out 3 wide. Soon to be parked. She's the real deal. The inside of Ideal Success. Then Ideal Flyby. Back in the field, First Home and Vice Consul the last. They pace down to the end of the back straight, 5.50 to go. Ahoka Punter first onto the showgrounds turn, final time. Over Besotted the outside and Unforgiving. 1-1 Johnny Fox, she's the real deal the inside. Then Ideal Success, Ideal Flyby, First Home and Vice Consul, 28-9 the back straight quarter. Ahoka Punter, Hurley's got a nice rein on him. Besotted's right there, and these two high-class ponies come for home. 2 lengths Unforgiving. Ahoka Punter a length. Besotted the outside. Ahoka Punter 100 to go. Besotted, he's brave on the outside. Ahoka Punter. Besotted won't give up chasing the outside, but Ahoka Punter will do enough. Besotted, great comeback by him. Unforgiving third. Ideal Success fourth. Then First Home. They were followed by Vice Consul. Ideal Flyby. She's the real deal, and Johnny Fox to be the last two. 40.2, 27.6, 56.6 was the last 800 metres. Ahoka Punter's Cup campaign is underway. Remains unbeaten, fresh. Besotted. What a cracking race by him. David Butcher, valiant in defeat. Unforgiving. Good run by her for third, and Ideal Success. He'll just continue to improve out of this race as well. Chevalier Wholesale Produce, Mobile Pace. Lovely winner, Ahoka Punter. Great return, Besotted.
Official placings, race 7, the Chevalier Wholesale Produce Mobile Pace. 13, 12, 3, 5, 4, 10. 13, 12, 3, 5, 4, 10. Horse 13, Ahoka Punter paced the 2200 metres in 240.25. A mile rate of 157.2. Last 856.6, the 427.6. The margins are half length, 4.5 lengths, 3/4 of a length. 13, 12, 3, 5, 4, 10. Race 7, Chevalier Wholesale Produce Mobile Pace.
Chevalier Wholesale Produce Mobile Pace and Ahoka Punter back at the head of the field. remains unbeaten in a fresh state, raced by Mrs. Katie Carville along with Tony Herlihy and S.W. Waters. Tony Herlihy, the trainer and driver out of Papakura. Tony, the Woodland stud-sponsored reinsman, and also sponsored by Mitavite, as the Mitavite Black Bike back into the victory circle. Better's Delight, 6-year-old Bay Entire out of Millwood, Minnesota, bred by Katie and the late Dave Carville. Paul Farnan down there, part of the victory celebrations from Chevalier Wholesale Produce. Murray Goldsworthy, race night steward, in attendance. 12 Besotted, cracking return from him. American Ideal, brown 7-year-old gelding out of Saturation for Lincoln Farms Limited. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe and David Butcher. 3 Unforgiving, Art Major Bay, 4-year-old mare out of Pure Envy. S.W. McMullen, S.J. Reid, C.H. and Mrs. T.J. Barlow, J.A. and Mrs. T.C. Screen, the owners. Stephen Reid, Simon McMullen trained at Pukekohe. Stephen Reid. 13, Ahoka Punter, $1.40 and $1. $1.40 and $1. 12 Besotted, $1.60. $1.60 and 3 Unforgiving, $1.70, $1.70. Quinella, $3 even, $3. The trifecta, $15.80, $15.80. And the first 4, $106.70, $106.70. And an update on Pick 6. We just haven't got that through at this stage. So again, we'll bring you an update on Pick 6 when the horses come out for the next race on the program, Race 8.